disappeared after attending a party at a campground.
She was either hungover or just had a really rough day. She looked distressed.
When do you think that this took place? Parked his van right here, facing that direction. Her vehicle was parked right over here. I have set a radius of 10 miles around Prosser Creek Reservoir. We're going to work hard to clear Stampede, Independence, Boca, and Prosser Creek, all within that 10-mile range. I've just located in the corner of this cove here a target that I cannot identify. 18 different agencies, over 19,000 man-hours have been put into this. I'm a firm believer in second chances. However, some things don't deserve forgiveness. Taking the life of a 16-year-old deserves zero forgiveness.
You see that?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense though. It's only 10 feet of water. We definitely have something man-made. If this is her, this means all hope is lost as far as her still being out there, her being found safe.
What would you want to say to KIELY tonight?
I love her so much. So many people love her. And we're all looking and we're trying so hard, and I'm so sorry we haven't found you yet, but we're not giving up and just hang in there, sweetie. This is all you can do to bring you home.
I don't want to find her. I want to be able to clear all this water and be able to tell the family she's not here. She's not here. Our job is to be here to find the where.
Confirm. I see the vehicle and the license plate. We have just found KIELY's vehicle. Over.
All right, guys, so welcome back to What's the Obsession, covering the KIELY Rodney case, because apparently it is our job to ensure that justice is reached for KIELY, because ain't no one else doing it out there, I'll tell you that much. Let's see. Just want to take a little listen to this. I had to get permission from a few creators and other people to say some certain things this evening and to disclose some information. I'm not going to pretend that I'm not often late, but tonight that is why. Since I made a big deal about starting at 10, since a whole night of sleep virtually was robbed from me last night. But before we move forward, I just want you to hear this, okay? Oh, and I really whittled this down for you, so I'm not going to waste any more of your time with this, okay? But this part, it's good. You got to hear. Now, if you know Sleuthy, I was like, Sleuthy, what's Sleuthy doing? What? But I think as you listen, as I listened, I kind of got it. So last night when Megan was on the channel, Arha and Sis Fishes did such an awesome job. Because they're so amazing, I was able to just kind of sit back and listen, which was pretty terrific. Not that it was totally a choice. I was getting really tired. But I was listening. I took notes. I was noticing what people were hanging their hat on, whether it was you guys, people that are new to the channel, just passing through, the people that were on panel, or things that I heard on other channels as they replayed what happened on this channel last night. So I just made a record of what people were finding important, the qualities that were displayed by someone or things that were stated that made a lot of us go, okay, yeah, I believe them, okay? So we're going to take a look at that in just a couple minutes, okay? But listen to this for right now.
Go to the water. They rang Ellie. Ellie didn't seem interested. When they found out that KIELY had gone missing and that she'd been at this party at the same time as them, they then contacted Ellie again.
Okay, so I'm sorry. Let me set this up for you, okay? So Crime Stories Obsessed, and I don't really know the creator that well. I catch some of her material every now and then, and she's fine. you know, she's fine. She seems factual, straightforward. I don't know the channel that well, but that's just kind of been my opinion. All right. Sleuthy, I mostly know from being on channel Nerdy Addict, who actually is one of 4 channels that I endorse on my own channel homepage because I really like what he does. So I like Sleuthy. Again, I was a little surprised when I saw her on here, and I don't know who this blessed person is, honestly. This person has a channel, and I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be disrespectful by saying I don't know who it is. I just don't know who it is. And then the green circle with the M, just as it appeared last night when she was on this channel, is Megan, Truckee local, a parent, mother of a Truckee teen, a boy and a girl who are friends or just, you know, cross paths with in the same geographical area is KIELY's apparent friend, but not really friend. I've determined that, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. You know, there's 4 years age difference, but you know, they all kind of hang in the same crowd. If you want all of the gory details, please watch the live stream from last night if you have 7 hours of your life to spare. So that's what's going on. So now the creator of Crime Stories Obsessed is kind of, you know, summing up what's going on for the viewers. I think Megan had just arrived on the scene on this channel. Then Sleuthy got on shortly thereafter. Now remember, Sleuthy, yay, we like her. I do at least. Watch that, thinking about that. See if you can see what she's doing, because I think she's doing something similar to what I was kind of doing last night. And we'll talk more about that later, but really just now listen. Thanks for being here, guys. You're awesome.
Like a day or 2 days after when they realized she was missing. And that's when they were asked if they would show Ellie where she last was seen, or this vehicle, should I say, was last seen. She said, yes, whenever, I'm up for it. We'll call you tomorrow, they said. Never called her back. So that's what we're talking about tonight. So, of course, it just so happened that Megan was somewhere. She was talking to the manager of this store, and the manager of the store said, oh, yeah, it's the people that work here. It's my girls that work here that were actually there at this Hispanic party, Hispanic gathering, that saw.
Wait, I just want to address something. So Bonnie says, I don't mean to sound rude, but I thought that this live stream was about an update for Megan. It is. And so much more, Bonnie. Just hang with me for a few minutes here. Or you don't have to, but I assure you, we're going to get there, okay?
All these lights. So Megan then spoke to this girl, got a little bit of an interview as such with her, and that's what we're talking about tonight. Thank you, Huda.
So that would be something as simple as whoever this was that had called. See, because I know it was like debunked, sorta, that there was a 911 call.
I'm gonna say like what exactly the phone call and everything was, because it says in the interview.
Megan, let her talk really quick so we can see what she's gonna say.
Okay.
I just was gonna say that my issue with that was that we didn't have like a time frame, and we were only listening to 30 seconds or 30 minutes. But also, calls can be removed from the logs, which was something that I figured would happen, because if in fact there was a call that was made, and it wasn't taken seriously, I'd imagine they wouldn't want anyone to know about that. So this would be as simple as someone having their phone records and showing that they've called law enforcement about this. And I think that would be really pertinent to provide to somebody that's not local law enforcement.
So I don't think she actually called from the
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
She went down there.
Yes, this is what I do know, and what she said is that in the audio it says this. I said, "Did you call 911?" And she said no, because she didn't. It was just weird, is how she put it, that this car was where it was at, and then she only caught it like as she turned around, just as she turned around, she saw that car and how it was moving, and then she turned back around, and so.
Now, guys, remember, I just want to point out that when Megan was on another channel, I think it maybe a day before, 2 days before, I'm losing track of Megan clocking hours on YouTube channels. But recently, she said that this person who had this insider definitive, harrowing knowledge of what happened to KIELY, made a call to 911. So Misty Street, thank you, darling, told me that Michelle After Dark, who's a creator I highly respect, she's super solid, 100% on all the time, actually went so far as to get the 911. I think she purchased them, right? The 911 calls, the log, spend hours of her life going through them, only to find that there was no 911 call. So, I'm thinking, I'm hearing what's being said. Misty Street's telling me this. I'm trusting Misty Street as a source. I'm kind of going, oh, I'm going to have to look into that, making my little notes here. Because really, guys, I do sometimes know what I'm doing. So this is going to come together, I hope, for all of you in a very systematic way. It's a picture I'm trying to paint. So, I'm thinking if Michelle After Dark went so far as to do that, it had to have been said that this person, who's a critical person, knowing what happened to Kylie, maybe the only person on earth who really knows what happened to Kylie, made a phone call to 911, because Michelle After Dark is no fool, and she wouldn't follow that lead if there was no lead. So I went back, fished around, found where, yes, that was said. And I'm going to play that for you later so you can hear for yourself. But please don't be fooled into thinking, oh, I just got things a little mixed up. I got them a little mixed up. No, she didn't really call 911. No, that's one of the things that just got a little mixed up. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that anymore. We're not doing that anymore. That's why I started this live stream playing that Adventures with Purpose, preview video, because listen, man, I've been watching a lot of channels today and this evening. We're not doing all that. We're going back to what matters. We're going to stay focused on what is real, what is relevant, what is not harmful, what is not bullshit, what is not adding to people wasting time, resources, and heart, because we're just not going to do that here.
So it was gone, and she didn't really think twice about it. What she did, she thought it was weird, but never called 911 because it was very dark and she couldn't see. And she was across the pond a little bit. And so then the next day, or that she went to work, they heard that Kylie was missing. So that day, I believe she went to the department itself, to where the teen talks were, and said, I have information. And they said, well, just call the tip line. And she said, no, I don't need to call the tip line. I need to talk to someone. So that's when she did talk to someone. So that's where, so she actually talked to someone in person, not on
Thanks,
a
Bonnie.
911 call.
To someone from law enforcement.
Yes.
Did she tell you that someone?
She says detective in the recording.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wait, hold that. Gotta stop this again, because I do want to let you know, when we were talking last night and I was reading comments and I was getting emails and I was just being very aware of how everybody was responding. At some point, we probably had like 2 hours left in last night's marathon live stream. My son came in the room. I think he was just getting a drink of water or something, and I wrote him a note. He had his phone in hand, of course. He's very good at researching things and finding the most efficient information. So I said, get me the best number to call the FBI to report something. He's like, okay. So he took his phone, came back a few minutes later, gave me 3 different numbers with little notes, what each number was best for. So I was thinking about that. I wasn't going to call that moment. I was like, I heard this. I'm going to call the FBI. But I was like, this is weird. And it seems already like there's been a lot of money, manpower, and resources, for whatever reason, wasted in investigating something that's so worth it, Kylie, but in a way that's not effective because of people just basically being shitty people, right? So I was concerned about that. Went to work. I don't talk much about the place I work at right now because of YouTube troll, stalker, strange people out there reasons. I've had some very, very bad real experiences. So I'm sorry I can't say more about that. I would love to tell you all about it, because I would love to talk about the people I work in who are amazing at what they do in a range of different fields and specialties, but I just can't. But and I'm so happy they're so into this stuff. Okay. And some of them are in law enforcement specifically. So the first person I talked to this morning is specifically in law enforcement. He's teaching a few courses, but he's, anyway, that's all I can say. So, you know, I just ran by him what I heard. He's like, wow, you look like shit. Did you get, he said, well, you look like shit, but he said, did you get sleep? He knew I was tired. You know, had my little notes, kind of briefed him on what was going on. Said, do you think it's an overreaction to report this? He's like, absolutely not. He's like, go get on the phone right now. So I was like, that's, you know, enough for me. So I did make a call to the FBI. If anyone else wants a number where you can get a more perhaps direct connection. If you've tried to call before, I had not. But all these people are like, somebody's got to call the FBI. Why is somebody's got to call the FBI? Why is she not calling the authorities? I'm like, wait a minute. Wait, I'm like looking around. I'm like, wait a minute. Ain't no one else here but me. So I'm going to call the FBI if we're all so worried about it. And I was becoming worried. So that has been done. Let's just clear that up. So they know what's going on. They might be, hello, hi. They could be watching now. And I'm okay with that because we're doing the right thing here.
And so we can't hear the recording because it's two-party consent. We have to track down this girl to ask her if it's okay.
I'm sorry. Hold it. So here's another thing.
If in fact there.
Okay. I don't lie very often, but I told a little fib last night. Please try to find out if California is a 1 or 2 party consent state. Okay. Somebody just please humor me and go pop that in Google right now. Tell me how many seconds it takes you to find the answer. And tell me if there's any question as to whether it is a 1 or 2 party state. Meaning, if it's a 1 party state, that means legally you just have to have the permission of 1 party, which is basically yourself, to record a phone call. A 2 party state means legally you need the explicit. It varies from state to state. This is a state law. Oh, well, I don't know if it always has been. That would be a misstatement. Has been since I've been aware of it. That's all I can say. 2 party state means you need the consent of both parties to legally record the phone call. All right. In all matters, even if it's just for your record, that's what's up, people. That's what's up. Did anyone try to Google if California is a 1 or 2 party state? Hi, Miss Kelly. Or is it Mr. or Mrs.? I'm sorry. Let's see. I want to make sure I'm reading that right. I'm glad you're here. Mrs. Kelly, I'm glad you're here. Yep, it's a 2 party state. Easy breezy. Bunch of you just found it. So it was just that easy for me last night. Now I'm thinking, this person, Megan, is not, you know, like straight up stupid. She's been able to navigate her way around YouTube. You know, she's gained knowledge on certain topics. I can tell that from what she says because I'm listening very, very carefully to all the time she talked. Very carefully. Taking notes, like armchair detective study group style, you know? And so I knew that she had to have known if it was a 1 or 2 party state, right? She's not on YouTube on several channels talking about this, not knowing if the recording that she made between herself and a person giving critical, you know, mind-blowing, you know, epic. It's the it news information about KIELY Rodney that knows more about what happened to her than anyone else. She's not recording that phone call for real without knowing if it's a 1 party or 2 party state. She's a person who brought up the issue of 1 or 2 party state. So I told a little fib and I said, oh, it's a 1 party state. I'm looking at it right here. It's a 2 party state. So let's go back to Sleuthy. Okay. And I wasn't trying to be misleading. I just really, guys, I needed to know if, like, it's not that I wanted her to be telling the truth, but as I'm seeing the response from so many people and I'm hearing the words that are being said, I needed to know what was truthful and what was not. So fine. All right.
When they were asked if they would show Ellie where she last was seen, or this vehicle, should I say, was last seen, she said, yes, whenever I'm up for it. We'll call you tomorrow, they said. Never called her back. So that's what we're talking about tonight. So, of course, it just so happened that Megan was somewhere. She was talking to the manager of this store, and the manager of the store said, oh, yeah, it's the people that work here. It's my girls that work here that were actually there at this Hispanic party, Hispanic gathering, that saw these lights. So Megan then spoke to this girl, got a little bit of an interview as such with her, and that's what we're talking about tonight.
Okay, so the creator of Crime Stories Obsessed just said, Megan, I guess the mouse led her to this grocery store where there was also a snake, and the mouse, you guys were killing me in chat last night. Oh my God. Like the mighty anyway. Somehow a mouse led to a store manager who led to, oh my gosh, here's the precise people you need to talk to. All right, so that's where we're at.
Thank you, Huda.
So that would be something as simple as whoever this was that had called. See, because I know it was like debunked, sorta, that there was a 911 call.
I'm gonna say like what exactly the.
So Sleuthy's being, she's being tactful, I think, and it was debunked totally, and that's not news because Misty Street and others informed us of that last night or in the wee hours of the morning on this channel when Megan was present.
Phone call and everything was because it
Hold
says
on,
in the interview.
Megan, let her talk really quick so we can
Okay.
see what she's going to say.
Okay.
I just was going to say that my issue with that was that we didn't have like a time frame and we were only listening to 30 seconds or 30 minutes. But also, calls can be removed from the logs, which was something that I figured would happen because if in fact there was a call that was made, and it wasn't taken seriously, I'd imagine they wouldn't want anyone to know about that. So this would be as simple as someone having their phone records and showing that they called law enforcement about this.
Okay,
and I think that would be really pertinent to provide to somebody that's not local law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think she actually
provided
called from the.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
She went down there.
Yes, this is what I do know, and what she said is that in the audio it says this. I said, "Did you call 911?" And she said no because she didn't. It was just weird, is how she put it. That this car was where it was at, and then she only caught it like as she turned around, just as she turned around, she saw that car, and how it was moving, and then she turned back around, and so it was gone, and she didn't really think twice about it. What she did, she thought it was weird, but never called 911 because it was very dark and she couldn't see. And she was across the pond a little bit. And so then the next day, or that she went to work, they heard that KIELY was missing. So that day, I believe she went to the department itself, to where the teen talks were, and said, I have information. And they said, well, just call the tip line. And she said, no. I don't need to call the tip line. I need to talk to someone. So that's when she did talk to someone. So that's where, so she actually talked to someone in person, not on a 911 call.
To someone from law enforcement?
Yes.
Did she tell you that someone?
She says detective in the recording.
Okay. And so we can't hear the recording because it's two-party consent. We have to track down this girl to ask her if it's okay to play the recording.
Because Megan recorded her without telling her she was.
Oh my God! First of all, I was just saying this to Ara, guys. These ladies right here are walking Megan right into possible charges against her.
And like I said earlier, I didn't record her because I was trying to use that recording. I was doing it so that I would have the right information for myself.
Listen, I record every call that I totally get it.
What you say, Sleuthy?
Especially when you're talking about something that's important. My concern is mentioning the fact that it has been recorded is kind of already like a violation. If someone really wanted to be upset, like if she was going to be upset that it was heard.
I don't think she's going to be upset. I don't
think so.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't think
well,
so. She says in the clip she wants people to know. So, but she just doesn't know she's being recorded. So let's just say we release it and people go crazy with it, and there's 1,000 videos tomorrow, and she does get upset, and she's like, you know, people are calling all the stores in Truckee trying to find out, you know, what person said this, and then she gets upset. She can probably go after Megan and anybody that puts it out. I would think. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, she can. That was so cool that she just made that point. Thanks. All right.
No, I
So we're not
understand
mentioning her name just yet. Thank you, Huda. She says,
And let me just
something.
say, I don't know her name. I did say that in the recording. I said,
Oh.
I don't want to know your name. If she was wearing any sort of name badge, I would not have looked at it. I didn't want to know it. This was completely anonymous, and I wanted to keep it that way. And she did say that too. She goes, I don't want people coming up to me. I'm having a hard enough time. She's lost a family member. She's lost other things. This has been a very, very difficult month for her. And I don't want to set her back anywhere in her mentally stable mind either.
Yeah, she does.
So right there, that is right there. She's being abusive to all of you, to all of us. That's gaslighting. It's manipulation.
Say in the clip, she's just starting to feel okay about the situation. And I took it by listening to that, like she's maybe not beating herself up anymore. That like, shit, why didn't I call 911 that night? It was something, you know what I mean?
Well, she physically went and she didn't let it go, right? So she tracked someone down so someone would speak with her. So
that's true. That's true.
I don't think there needs to be any guilt, you know, as far as that goes. That
I don't think
the ball was in someone else's court.
I don't think and I don't think it's that she has guilt, like for that side of it. I think it's just one of those things that, you know, she saw it and she has to live with the fact that she saw it. It's not that it's guilt or not. It's just that's something that happened in her life, and she has to come to terms with it as well. And no matter how little or big it is, it still happened in her life, and it's snowballed into this as well.
Okay, I just want to make a point at this juncture. So I know that a lot of people were getting very anxious, and I understand it was late. We were all very tired, very, very tired. Last night we're getting impatient, a little anxious with me, annoyed at me, sometimes just straight up pissed off at me because I wasn't asking questions. I wasn't pushing questions. I was reading every comment in chat. I don't always do that, but I was last night because I really wanted to have my thumb on this. Now, I hope you guys can see why there was great value in allowing people to talk.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just looking at the chat and I'm just ready for blocking people, to be honest, because I really don't have the patience for it tonight. If you've got nothing good to say, go watch another channel. I really don't care.
I mean, what information is really good out there? I mean, there's all kinds of like, I guess you could say like, ooh, stuff like, oh yeah, wow, this is shocking. But I mean, it's all speculation. Everything is he said, she said, no matter who it comes from, unless they're actually up here showing themselves.
I agree with that. And I would like to encourage. I know that there are people that will say, why would anybody ever come up as themselves if they've got something to worry about? But then on top of it, they don't want to be, you know, attacked and things like that. But I do encourage. I think that this is a situation where there are a lot of things that weren't done properly. And I think that a lot of it is falling on inappropriate shoulders. Mm-hmm. And I think that in order to place it back on the shoulders they belong on, that it is going to take courage and people that have experiences like that, where you are asking law enforcement to do their job and they don't, and it causes unnecessary grief. I think that being exactly who you are out and open and being courageous and saying what you've experienced it should never be attacked. But at the same time, I think where we get confused with that is I think the attacks come when we're talking about things we don't know about and we're paraphrasing and we're trying to guess and we get mixed up because it's not our experience. So, but anybody that has had experience, I would hope would be encouraged and welcomed in a situation like this, where we don't have any information. It's firsthand.
Thank you, Banksy's
Okay,
Wolf.
wait a minute. Hold it. Wait. I was playing something from another channel, so I think people may have come in here, and I don't know if you thought that was. So please speak your mind. This is a place to do it. Okay. Okay. So, where do we go from here? All right. Does anyone want to come up and say a couple words? I know a couple people did. I have some more material I need to get together, and I'm just trying to decide, like, how to best paint this picture, just what to go over next. There's a lot. Let's see. I'm going to pop the link in chat. And I didn't, when I was listening last night, I was just listening. I was just listening. Wasn't drawing any conclusions. I was just listening, observing, taking notes, and gathering information. Upon reflection, after I got 62 minutes of sleep, thinking, hearing from some of you guys, talking to some people who really know what they're talking about, then I started to make conclusions. And then things have just been becoming more clear. Did I put the link? I can't remember if I put the link in chat or not, but I'm going to do it again. Oh, I know. Let's see. Factual proof. I will say that's my belief that MC believes that she knows the truth, but I'm not sure. Okay, so, all right, sorry about that. I was just reading chat. I'm sorry. See, but can't come up. Oh, well, if you want to type it in the chat, you certainly can do that. Did you want to come up, Ara? Yes, we already know the car went to the water. Gosh, it's like the one thing we know. So is the FBI at Megan's house yet? I don't know, but all of this has been reported, and not just this, just yeah, things have been reported. There was so much concern from so many people about this information getting to the proper authorities. Everyone was talking about it. I don't know, maybe people were actually contacting them and I didn't know about that, but at some point I was like, what am I freaking doing? These concerns are legitimate. The authorities should know all of this. I know that they should know all of this, and I know all these people are concerned, and oh, wait a minute, I'm concerned, so I'll pull the trigger on this. That's cool. It's fine. Like, not a big deal. Do the right thing sometimes. All right. Midge, I don't know if I've heard from her yet. I haven't even checked my email today. I've been so tired and busy with other things. I kind of don't. Actually, that's not true. I checked it around noon today because I did say that if she felt unsafe, I offered her some support and some resources, and I would absolutely follow through on that 100%. So I checked to see if I did hear from her. I figured if she didn't get to me by noon, it wasn't that big of a concern. And then I just had to let it go and move on to other things. Hi, CCTV. Do you want to come up? I like the hand raise. So funny. Let's see. There's the link if you want to. Oh my goodness. Oh, you send it in too. Okay, cool. Awesome. Good. Awesome. So happy to hear that. CCTV, guys, by the way, has a channel, and she is a local to that area. I'm actually hoping to get her some information she's going to follow up with regarding cell phone records. You guys all know how much I love that topic, but obviously I can't get out there, so I'm hoping to kind of share with her so she can actually get out to the location and actually do some testing for us. So we're going to see how that goes. But I was told, and I don't know what the reason is, that I can't give her the information until, well, not today. Let's just say that. Yes, totally. I agree. I know I'm exhausted too, CCTV. R wants to come up. Sweetie, I put the link in chat here. Hi, Capricious TR. How are you? Welcome. I do think things were seen, and I am going to get there. This Megan is not the be all end all. Trust me. She is a distraction. This is, and I don't know. All right. I'm just going to tell you what my 2 thoughts are on it. Okay. She's really pushing the Sami narrative, to varying degrees. So the way I see it, she's either pushing the Sami narrative because she is a, because Sami sent her out into the streets with guns blazing, or she, for some reason, just really needs some attention, and this looks like a good opportunity for her. I really truly believe it's just like that. It's one of those things. She's definitely protecting Sami, absolutely positively. If Sami directly did not, ask her to do this, if she's not basically working for Sami, in my opinion, there are people around her who are talking in a way where, they're angry about people looking at Sami. They're angry about what's being said about Sami because, the community, right? And everybody else should go hug their mom or pick up a hobby, right? So I don't know exactly what's up, but I'm really freaking sure it's one of those 2 things. Hey, Ara, how you doing, sweetie?
Hey, Miss Kelly, I'm good. How are you?
Awesome, just like you. What's up?
You know how it is. It's like taking a second and stepping back. I think yesterday we were on reaction mode when we were listening to Megan talk, and we wanted to jump and ask so many questions. But then after stepping back and listening to everything, I just realized that this person has not told us anything. If anything, what this person has done is distracted
Exactly.
from paths that people were trying to get to find truth. This person just railroaded everything that was happening, jumping on from YouTube to channel to YouTube and completely changing the conversation of what was happening, which is fine, but really not adding anything to it either.
No, not either. Just 1 second. I forgot
Yeah.
a really important part I just want to mention here because I saw. So, hi, Boo Street says, what's the obsession? Why is she questioning RT being a local? I have no idea, but I don't know how I could forget this. Here in my notes, among my information to present to you tonight, I have been contacted by somebody who is local to that area, who is related to the family. Now, are we talking brother, sister? No. Related? Yes. Now, I did not think this person was for real, like so many of the other faker kind of people that you're all mentioning right now in chat. I was just like kind of like listening, thinking like, what is this person up to? Said some things that caught my attention, and then, asked if I, in a way that wasn't weird, if I put any stock into them, if I put any faith into what they were saying, and gave me some information so I could look into them. Lo and behold, I think on the last live stream, I was telling you that every 2 years with my ex-boyfriend, we used to go out west to go snowboarding and skiing. And we went to Tahoe, but we had never gone to Truckee, yada, 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 right?
Yeah.
So one of the reasons we started doing that trip was because it was mostly like his gig. And then I just, started going with him because I like snowboarding and skiing as well. But all the people like we would stay with, all the connections out west were really his connections to start with. So I do happen to know some people in that area, not in Truckee per se, but I have to actually get in touch with my ex-boyfriend, who I don't really like talk to very much. We aren't really on the best terms, but it's been a while, so I figured like that's not a big deal, right?
Yeah.
And he contacted the person there who owns a house. Owns one of the houses that we would rent with some other people when we stayed out there. And that person was able to verify, and I'm not going to be providing any receipts. I'm not claiming that I am. This is just a story I have, and based on the people that I spoke with and what I know of them. And I know the person who vetted the person that was contacting me, the Truckee local, who is related, not a close relative, but related to the Kiely Rodni family. I fully believe this person to be legitimate now. I have enough proof. So that person that we rented the house from with other people, because it is expensive, well, where we stayed at least, was able to verify that this person is real. This person is part of that community. Oh, and this is important too. See, I'm tired. I'm like not keeping my shit all together here. Let me show you this.
You need someone here with you. That's all you need.
I do.
That's it.
And who's better than you? Yeah.
I got you.
So let's check this. So the so this is why I feel so certain of it. So you're not like, oh, there goes Kelly being naive again.
We know you do your homework. We know you do your homework here.
Thank you. Thank you. Nancy N beat the naivety out of me. So the community of
I remember that.
Like, oh, you're so stupid. Stop. You're so naive. Somebody's going to like do terrible things to you. And they did. And I'm not so naive anymore. Okay. So true story.
Yeah.
So the community of Truckee, oh, look at all those sixes. Yucky. Has a population of 16,000, followed by the numbers of Satan, 16,666. So this is in 2020, according to the records that I was looking at this afternoon. If anything, the resident population has only actually decreased since 2020. Okay, so we are working with a number around 15,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
So when I tell you, okay, a couple things, this is extremely relevant for another number of reasons. Let me lay them out for you. So when I tell you that this person we used to rent one of his homes with some other people, I think three times when we went out there to go snowboarding. That was a snowboarding portion of it mostly. Well, and that's a really long story. No one wants to hear about that right now for a totally another day. You would need some anyway.
For real.
Yeah. So, okay. So in saying that person was able to say, oh yeah, I know who that person is. I can tell you a story about them. I can tell you how they are connected to the Truckee community. Of course, they know about this tragedy that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, this person that vetted the relative, but not super close relative. Can I stop saying that? Just a relative.
Yeah.
Who had contacted me, knew the Kiely Rodni case, knew people were talking about it, and knew exactly who I was talking about, what I was talking about, and what the relationship was. I was like, sold. It was just so clear that this is completely legitimate.
Yeah.
Okay, back to the point here. So now I'm really listening to this person, and this is all just happening today, mind you.
You had a busy day.
I had a very busy day. Now I did my work first, of course. So now I'm actually reaching out to this person who I'd been, and I'm sorry, person, ignoring a little bit here and there. I don't know, just being like, okay, like listening to passively for the past maybe 2.5 weeks, since I started really getting into the Kiely Rodni case. And this person maintains, and I believe them, that the family does not know, and we're talking conclusively, no, they might think certain things. And in fact, this family member does not really like so much what mostly some of her, we'll go into that in a minute. They might have certain inclinations. They might have theories. They might not want to know certain things that are very obvious, that are factual, and they might want to believe certain things that are fictional, right? Because they're in a lot of pain. They're grieving.
Yeah.
Just lost their daughter.
Yeah.
But this person is absolutely certain, and they made me feel certain that the parents and the grandfather know absolutely nothing more than most people in the general public do about what precisely happened to KIELY on that evening, and if it is, in fact, just an accident or involved foul play.
So
Now,
basically, they're on our boat.
yeah.
We're all in the same place.
Yeah. I was like, can you tell me more about that boat? Because I'm a little slow tonight. So now Ara and people who have, been with this channel for a long time know that that is the absolute most conclusive statement I am ever going to make about something that is really up in the air, that I can't have, complete firsthand knowledge of, because I don't make statements. And I definitely don't make statements that I'm putting out to you guys, the public, the viewers, as being, this is something I'm certain of, unless I'm really fucking sure of it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And it's just because otherwise we're just spreading rumors.
Exactly.
That's all it is. And that's what I've been saying from the beginning. It's just anybody can go on a panel and say this and say that, and it will create this just hurricane of misinformation. And it's irresponsible. But I mean, this lady comes on and says, everybody needs to knock it off. Well, you're the one that started going up on panels, and you started this.
Yeah, exactly. And Megan, we're talking to you.
Yep. Yes, we're talking to you. Respectfully, ma'am.
Well, she's not a guest anymore, so.
I try, with the Southern stuff. I try to be nice to everybody.
Honeybee says, like, does Sami pay her bills or something? I don't know, Honeybee, maybe. I mean, seriously, though, I have no idea. Something weird is going on, if that's what's going on. So again, my theory is, and what do you think, Ara? It's either, Sami be paying bitches bills, or, this person just really needs attention and sees this as an opportunity to get it. What do you think, Ara?
I agree with the second one, the latter. Yes, I agree with that, because the way she decides, the way that she chooses to present herself and speak to people on their channel says a lot about her integrity. And she needs to go back and listen to what she's saying. Maybe she is going through something, and we understand that. But it's almost very bully-like, and she's trying to get something across. I still don't know what that is, but I think she's going at this the wrong way. But that we already have all these factual things that we need to keep looking at and dissecting, instead of just believing these rumors. At this point, that's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly it. And my gosh, I uploaded on the channel, I don't know what, 24 to 48 hours ago now, losing track of the space-time, where I am in the space-time continuum. That interview when she called, or whatever it was, when she called into I'm going to butcher his name right now. The guy, he's great.
We know that guy.
Okay. Words aren't coming easy to me right now, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Now listening back to all of the material that she herself has put on the record with various YouTube creators out there, I find that those statements from her from back on August 10th, when Sami had been just missing for a few days, I actually find that to be the most credible. And that is really kind of shady stuff. The more you listen, the more you're like, say what?
Exactly. Especially now that KIELY has been found. You go back and listen to that interview, and then that's when you have to critically think and put things together. Everything is out there for you already to listen to, y'all. Everything. And McBoys would like the link as well, Miss Kelly.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Muck Boys, we have to stop talking about Casey Anthony living 20 minutes away from you, though. That's all I got to say. But come on up.
Dang. She called you out, bro.
Now, remember, I have this visual up there. Truckee has a population of, well, it's actually decreased according to the information I've been looking at, which has to do with the whatever census. What is it? The national census, whatever the census is.
Yeah.
16,666. Ooh, satanic number. Back in 2020, it's actually decreased since then. So I'm just going to use a nice round number of 15,000 people. Very small community. So, the person that I just explained to you was vetted by somebody that I trust to vet people for me when I'm saying things on my channel that put my channel's reputation and my own reputation out there. This person said in this community of about 15,000 people where everybody knows each other's business, the town I live in used to be about 15,000 people. It's gotten a lot smaller because industry has moved out, and all know how that goes. But I know what a 15,000 person population community looks like, feels like, and functions like.
Yeah.
You know everything that's going on. And if you don't know, is a matter of, daily awareness. Finding out everything you want to know is knock on the next door neighbor's front door or a phone call away.
Yes, especially and Kylie's family owns lodging. They house people that go through there. Important people have gone through there. I mean, they're not just some random people. That's what I was trying to tell you last night. I mean, people know them, of them, or if they don't, they will, and the next day they're there.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So, let's see. Oh, wait, did I put the link in? I don't remember if I did, man. I'm kind of losing my shit. Okay. So, this person who vetted the person who is from that community, once again, I'm going to say it again, explain to me, and I believe this person after this person was vetted by somebody I trust who is local out there, not from Truckee, but right next door, that the family members, meaning Kylie's parents, absolutely positively do not have any definitive knowledge of what happened to Kylie that evening, above and beyond, give or take some small details that don't indicate definitive foul play or accident, above and beyond what you and I here on this channel know right now. If anybody else says differently, this person assured me they have some kind of agenda at work, or some dysfunction, agenda, whatever it is, but just it's not true. So I am telling you that I absolutely at this point 100% believe that it's not true. That the big concern, there's just so much that could be said here. It's just a bunch of bullshit. Okay.
Yeah. Well, then humor me. And do you think that the family is not saying anything, or they're sticking to the story of they don't know what happened because they can't say because it's still an ongoing investigation?
No, I don't think so. I don't think they know anything. Okay. After today, I do not think they know anything. Tiffany. Okay. So Tiffany said, somebody, and I'm sorry, it was Wisconsin's. I'm sorry. Next time you come up, I'll pin the comment. And welcome. Thanks for being here, guys. Had pointed out that the caller Megan, her daughter's name was Daisy. Interesting, because something came up about a Daisy today. And man, I am I've been in a fog all day. I'm sure I wrote it down in my notebook, so I'll figure it out. But so now Tiffany says, I'll see if I can find a Daisy as a relative of aforementioned. That would be awesome, Tiffany. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and Tiffany's cool. She's been on some of my lives, so
cool.
I can vouch for her.
Awesome. Yay, that's terrific. All right. So everybody, please welcome Keith, also known as Muck Boys, to the channel. Hey, what's up?
Hey, Kelly.
Hey, Muck Boys.
How you doing?
Good.
Great.
How are you?
Good. Yeah.
Is there a bomb around your neck? I hear something beeping.
Oh no, I never wear my seatball. Hold on.
oh no, that's not good.
Do you want to say that on the internet?
I know.
Yeah, that's all right.
The FBI is watching, bro.
Yeah, that's cool.
I do remember her saying like she had a daughter Kylie's age and a son Sami's age, because her daughter could have been at the same party.
That's right. Yeah.
I remember specifically. I don't remember her saying a name. So that's a good memory.
It was Daisy. Yeah, it was Daisy. Yep. One of my favorite bunnies' names is Daisy. So I remember that. Yeah. Well, she was saying that between her daughter and son and Kylie and Sami, there was a 4-year spread. So however that shakes out. Yeah.
She was older, right?
I don't remember. I honestly don't remember those details.
I'm almost certain she said she was older.
Okay.
I get Sami as being older than Kylie, right? So then that would mean I believe she said her daughter was going to be at the same party. I took it as her daughter was Kylie's age, her son was Sammy's age, is what I kind of got from it.
The son is Sammy's age, and the daughter
Yes.
is 2 years older than her
Oh.
daughter.
Yeah, and I took her saying that her daughter could have been at the same party as her being hyperbolic.
Exactly.
Her being hyperbolic. That's what I took it
I
as.
mean,
Yeah.
that was, my thing was she came in kind of so, like, you guys did an awesome job because I was kind of ticked off. Just, she just came on. But it wasn't you. It was her saying everyone's this and that. And then she would say, well, maybe it's not you guys, but another channel. She would throw us like we were saying bad things. And you guys, like I said, you guys were awesome because I don't know if I could have taken it that much. And then, whatever she started talking about. And that was my thing was I couldn't tell if she was just somebody that found a way to get people to listen to her.
Oh, wait, hold it, Muck. I can't hear you. Wait. Hold it. Wait a sec, honey. You're breaking up. Just one sec.
Muck Boys went into techno mode.
Yeah, you did go into techno mode. And CCTV says I've already found her. CC, could you somehow share that, or would you like to come up? Whatever you feel comfortable with. I'd love to check that out if you don't mind. Go ahead, Muck Boys.
Am I better now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm driving through it. I have a bad area. But anyway, so I couldn't tell she lived in Wisconsin and knew nothing and was just, hey, people listen to me if I talk about this. Or because, how she would go off on her tangents, it was like she just wanted to tell us about who knows what. Or if she really did have some knowledge, but is not good at relaying it. I couldn't tell one was the case.
Well, that was her excuse for recording that person was because she doesn't get things right the first time. So recording it helps her go back and re-listen to understand.
Right.
Yeah. She was saying that thank God she recorded it because that got her out of trouble. I mean, it was, as we all, like, we kind of lost her. But like I said, and then I took it, and it seems like you guys, or someone else, I don't remember who, said she was on another channel. So obviously, to me, this was like her first time. Then as she kept going, I got like kind of the inclination from chat that she's been on other panels doing this.
Yeah. Yep.
She was. I mean, I sent Kelly the link. What was it, like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, something like that?
Oops, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to pin that RT when you were just saying your lingo. I'm sorry. Yes, it was. Yes.
She was busy today.
I was busy.
I was kind of laughing once I when I realized what time it was, how long you had been going, knowing you had to go to work. I was like, holy cow, man.
I know. It was a miserable day. It was kind of a miserable day.
Sure, it had to be.
Yeah.
I think what we were feeling is that we feeling like we wanted to defend Kelly because she was a little aggressive. So what people are saying right now is that, it just didn't feel good for her to talk to us like that. But you have to know that Kelly, she's very patient. She's probably really tired too. And so she's just like letting it happen so she could listen to it later.
She also took the hit. She was like, hey, I'm sorry for what I said, even though you might not have said nothing. And I was like, all right, she's obviously like, that's when I kind of was like, all right, so she knows what she's doing here. She's doing something. So I'm not going to say. But yeah, in the whole other, well, I don't know how much I get into the case, but, she made it sound like it was an accident. And the two, I think I had said last night was, I don't know what the sand was like going to the water, but if it's really soft sand, it's going to leave tire marks. How did no one see them? And B, we all know she was, where she was strapped in at. So she ain't doing that herself. She's not driving in herself. So even what she was saying made it sound, you know what I mean? Like it just, nothing was making sense from what we know in my mind. I'm not 100%. I don't know everything about this case, but
Yeah. No, I mean, I thought, but with the question I did ask you about, how would we know if there were tracks or not? That was a legitimate question. And I mean, it's still a legitimate question. So Muck Boys was saying, if a car just like rolled into the water, there would be tracks. But my question was, how would we know if there were tracks or not? Because nobody was really paying attention to that right after the car would have gone into the water, right?
They're explaining it as, in my mind, like beach sand. So
Yeah.
say this happened at 2 a.m. The next morning, when people are out there, there's going to be 2 freaking tire tracks going right. They're going to be like, this is weird. Like, you know what I mean? So, like that. I mean, that would have had to have been hidden or raked over if, you know, if that was the case. But again, I don't know. I'm just saying that if a car rolls in on really soft sand, it's going to leave some big tracks. And the next morning, when people are out there barbecuing, that's going to be such an odd. You know, you're going to say, why are the tracks coming into the water? Oh, there's a girl. Like, you know what I mean? So that was the other thing I don't know. I was kind of like.
Well, this reservoir, lake or creek, I've heard it called all these things. CCTV, what should we properly call it? I always feel insecure when I'm giving it a name.
You're absolutely right.
But
Yeah.
it has almost like, and CCTV, correct me if I'm wrong, or RT, or if you don't want to, that's okay too. But, or if anybody is local, it sounds to me like this body of water has almost, I don't want to say necessarily like high tide and low tide, but, you know, relative to, I don't know the variables, but the water level will rise and fall, not on a seasonal cycle, but almost like a 24-hour cycle. Is that accurate?
Yeah. I mean, not to be, but so, you know, like the ocean has tides. In like Alaska, it's 24 feet every 8 hours. In West Palm and Florida where I live, it's 4 to 6.
I'm sorry. Capricious, I'm sorry, says, how dare she look at the bunny?
Bunny break.
I'm
It's
sorry.
like say 4 to 6 foot tides, and that's from the Earth spinning. So even little lakes are going to have, you know, tides. You know what I'm saying? So it might not be very much, but yeah, there could be. You know, like the water will move as the Earth turns. It's kind of hard to explain, but like a small body of water will still have maybe a small tidal. You know.
Yes. So now that we've all proven that we've taken earth science class in high school, like
For real.
how, you know, what I was thinking, you know, just when we're talking about this was, you know, I guess some of the pictures I had seen, you know, showed a rather, what looked to me to be a much steeper incline than I was imagining when you were looking at the shore, so to speak, from further away. And so all of these things that I'm talking about right now, these variables and characteristics of, you know, the earth there is leading me to say, would there be tire tracks, and would there be tire tracks in a time frame where people would have known Kylie was missing and they ought to be looking for tire tracks? That's all.
Yeah, and the other thing too is the one thing that was, and again, I was kind of like not frustrating me, but I was, you know, there's a picture that everyone's going off of that we all saw. You can see the vehicle pretty easily from the sky, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we got to remember that before AWP was there, it was upside down, so it's not going to be shiny. The bottom of the car is going to be black. It's not going to be silver. So it's not going to be as noticeable. In the picture that we all see where you can see the car easily, it's being pulled in. It's in shallower water than 15 feet, you know?
Right.
Now, I'm not saying like I'm not on the cop side or nothing. I'm just saying there's a picture everyone's thinking that, oh, wow, how could you miss that? Well, that car wasn't like that when it was found is all I'm kind of saying.
Right. Yeah, sure. No, that makes sense. Yeah, that is important to keep in mind, you know. I just want to point this. Peg Baldwin says, "Sis, vicious question like a trained lawyer. Well done." She was off the hook. I was like blown away by her last night with her question. She was amazing. I was like, Camille Vasquez in his house. You're awesome, sis.
She left her emotions at the door, and I was just texting Kelly like, Kelly, I have to be nice. I'm sorry.
I know.
Yeah, she was. Nah.
Uh-oh. I hope he's okay. Kelly, can you hear me? We can't hear you if you're talking.
see.
There you
All right,
are.
hold it. I gotta get my earphones back on. My computer just ran out of battery. My computer's like, damn you, freaking you're nuts. Go to bed.
Welcome back.
Wait a minute. Hello?
Well, yes.
Okay, there we go.
Well, wow. The membership link is down below, y'all. I don't know if someone was asking for it, but it's there.
Oh,
just while
cool.
we're taking this
Awesome. Thanks. I can
moment.
pop it in there too. Where'd Muck go?
He probably dropped out. He probably had bad service.
Okay. So let's see. Let's see. Okay. Okay, let me pick up some comments here. Now there actually is so much more to talk about. Guys, I can't go. I definitely there's more to talk about this evening. I can't get through everything I've got for you tonight because I'm just too freaking tired. I'm gonna have to, end this in like half an hour or so, but we're gonna get there, I promise.
What was your car with the FBI like?
Oh, well, hold it just one second. Let me get my hold it. I could hear myself, but I couldn't hear you. Just one second. Can you say something again, our darling?
Yes.
Okay,
Test.
wait, there we go. Testing.
Test
1, 2, 3. All right, hold it.
I can hear your computer working.
There we go. Okay. It wasn't too terribly interesting. They didn't give, or I spoke with 2 different people who did not give up anything to me. They were, I'm assuming, I'm hoping, trained, and they knew what they were doing. So I just gave information.
Okay.
And I was given a number that I can give, or 2 numbers actually, that I can give other people if they would like to give more information. And they took my information, of course, a lot of my information, which is a little freaky, but, and
did you have to tell them you had a YouTube channel?
I did tell them I had a YouTube channel because I really didn't know how else to contextualize it. And also, wouldn't it seem weird if I'm,
that's true,
calling, to report information and saying a lot of people share this concern. Well, what people? I mean, they're going to ask questions I'm eventually not going to be able to answer. This is the problem, people, when you're being dishonest. Somebody's eventually going to ask a question you don't know how to answer. Then you got to start to keep track of that shit.
Yeah.
So I just decided before, I talked to the person I was mentioning, who's a law enforcement person at work, that I work with, I should say. It's hard to explain, but I'll give you more details about my workplace. And darn, I wish I could someday.
Yeah,
maybe.
no, you don't have to. So where did you want to get? Okay, so you told us that you had a contact there that verified that the parents don't know much, or the family.
Mm-hmm.
And then you wanted to tell us that whatever Megan is saying has not been verified.
That's correct. Okay. And furthermore, let me go along. Let me grab my notes here.
I just wanted to make sure you saved everything you wanted to.
Thank you.
As much
I
as
appreciate it. I know, because I'm so tired. Normally I can, but notes are always good anyway. Let me get my notes and then my reading glasses. Okay. So along with that, another important thing about that contact is, now remember, again, it's in a community of about 15,000 people. So, take that for what it's worth, or just put it in the context.
Yeah.
That parents didn't know any more definitively about what happened that night that would indicate accident or foul play. This person told me with 100% certainty, which left me with 99.9% certainty. So whatever that leaves you with, that's, up to you. May depend on how well you know me as well, or my channel. So hopefully it does, because those are good things to take into consideration. So along with that, an extension of that conversation was, if there were other people in the community who knew more than the average bear, and when I say people, we're talking about human beings outside of that, of a possible, I should say, like immediate group. Okay, let's say if there were 3 people who were kind of involved in a foul play situation, and this is theoretical, I'm not trying to like wink anything here, just giving you a scenario. So if there's 3 people who are involved in some kind of a foul play situation, each of them having, culpability to varying degrees, maybe someone was a participant, maybe someone was an observer, maybe someone's covering up something after the fact. I don't know.
Yeah.
So what this person was saying, outside of those 3 people who obviously would have more detailed, intimate, and firsthand knowledge than anyone else, if there are people who are connected to Sami's death as a matter of foul play, of course they're going to know more than anyone else. Outside of that very intimate firsthand knowledge, they don't believe that there's anyone that definitively knows anything more regarding whether it was an accident or foul play was involved. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Because yeah, I get you. Sorry, keep going.
And let's see. So how does this person know that? Because it's something that is being discussed all the time. And for this person, because they do speak with the family, and they do, function within the community, and they do know everyone, if not the vast majority of people in the community. They're talking to a lot of people with different levels of connection to this tragedy or crime. So many words need to be used right now with the, with us not being able to call it one or the other definitively.
Yeah.
So they feel like they're talking to everyone in the community, like these 15,000 people. They've heard it all, and nobody knows anything more. And anyone claiming that they do, that, what would that situation possibly be? Just not a believable one.
The only people that know anything intimate about this are the people that were in that car with KIELY and Sami those last couple hours that we know anything of.
Yeah.
Those are the only, and this number keeps coming up, 3 people in many different occasions. The only people that know y'all are those kids in that car. And Sami had to give up those names to authorities. But if it was foul play, those people in that car, in my opinion, are not going to say, yeah, this bad thing happened, we tried to cover it up. They're going to say she was super drunk and we don't know what happened after that,
Right. I mean, whoever, and it is my opinion that other people do have that intimate knowledge of what happened, and they are someone or some people is covering something up. In my mind, I fully believe that. I always have. The more I learn, I haven't changed my mind at all. I don't want to say the more I believe it all the time, but I definitely believe it as strongly as I ever have, and I have not changed my mind. So
I agree. I've been right there with you. After watching that interview, no, I'm sorry. There's no way you can convince me otherwise.
Yeah. Which interview?
Her interview, her first interview that we see in her car.
Oh, right. Yeah, totally. And there's so many more interviews. So there's just so much information, that's moving me in that direction. So, so those people who may have been somehow involved know a lot. And I think that whatever pact they have to not ever speak about what they know, saw, witnessed, or experienced is like, Chris Watts taking it to the grave. Who gave him the oxys?
I think these people, though, because they're younger, I think they're going to crack. Somebody's going to crack.
I think so too.
They're not as
they have so much future. Yes, that's true. But they also have so much future ahead of them. At some point, they're not going to want to live the life that one lives when they're keeping that kind of a secret.
Exactly.
So
someone is going to crack. It may take a long time, but I really do believe that something is going to happen. Now, my next question is, why is this person doing that all over YouTube? Like, what are they getting out of, or what are they trying to do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that must have a lot to do with trying to take attention away from something else.
Yeah. I think so too. I agree with you. CCTV says 100% foul play. Yeah, something else. And absolutely. And clearly this person's focus is Sami. And you know what? You know what we're going to do? Let's go back. I want to listen to the August 10th call in from Megan to Mel. Did I say that correctly?
Yeah.
I normally say that right, but I'm just so tired, guys. Let's listen to that again. Okay. I think it's worth it. Yeah. So now that we know everything we know, which is more than we knew yesterday, even though, you know, people make attempts at derailing this awesome train and they just can't do it. Not on what's the obsession. So we're going to listen.
It's just hard to listen when someone's rude. That's all sometimes.
Yeah, it is. Oh, yeah. Yes. But, you know, I'm glad that, you know, and I really I want people to know I was absolutely positively in no way trying to like set her up or anything. And I don't feel that way about like, haha, we got you. I really don't feel that way about it. I just feel like we let her speak. We heard her out. I really did have an open mind. I tried to see it in the way she was explaining things, but everything I looked into afterwards, or every time I heard her speak after that, inconsistencies, nothing checked out. It was just, you know, it was
the comment
just
I
lies.
made,
It's freaking clearly a bunch of lies to me. It's just so obvious. I don't know what else to say.
The comment I made earlier when I was at that live you were playing earlier, I was there when it was happening. I sent you the link and everything, and I was washing the dishes listening to it
on CCTV's channel, right?
Yeah, I think it was on that crime obsession.
Okay.
That one, and then nobody. Last night I tried to ask her. Well, no, I tried to ask her something, and she just kind of cut me off and didn't let me ask. And then so today when I was listening to that, that's why I asked her, because that's what she wanted to reveal today, that she had a conversation with someone that says they saw something, whatever, right? So I asked
nothing
her
to reveal.
Exactly. And then so I asked her, why was this recorded? Like no one wanted to ask her that, so I asked it in the chat. And this lady reads the chat like it's the Bible, so she's reading everything that's being said because she's very sensitive, and she answered the question. And then that's when the whole two-party conversation started.
And how did she answer the question again? Can you just give it to it? What did you ask and how did she respond?
That's what she said. I have to record things, something like that. I have to record things because I can't remember everything, or I get things wrong. So that's how I go and look back. And I have to go back and rewatch that part of the live, but that's why I asked that, because nobody was asking that. Well, why was this recorded? And that's when that whole conversation started happening. But I got frustrated listening to her because it's like a merry-go-round.
Yeah, no, it totally was a merry-go-round. Yeah. Yeah, that whole thing was very weird. And then, you know, she was her statement of why she believed this person that the little mouse let her to in the grocery store was because she was crying. She was so emotional. And also this person whose name she doesn't know or anything, her dad died, you know, like 2 weeks before. And then the KIELY thing happened. And then, you know, and she was like, well, she had to be telling the truth. And now this is something that I wrote down as being a theme from last night that I wanted to just bring to everyone's attention. I'm sure that I do this as well, but it wasn't just Megan that was saying that she believed a person based on the person's display of emotions. A lot of us in chat, in comments on the video, even emails to me, or even as I was just hearing you talk amongst yourselves on I haven't watched a lot of other chat, but it's like a couple from various sources in the last 24 hours. A lot of people were saying we're believing others based on the level of emotion they were portraying when whatever they were believing or not was said, you know, and that is not a way to base.
Oh, I caught you. You were going to say that was not smart. You're like, wait, no.
No, I wasn't even. I'm just like, oh, maybe I was, but my brain's not even aware of this.
But it's true.
That's not a way to determine if someone is being truthful or deceptive. Not level of emotional display. Is that like, that's not it, guys. That's not it.
It's like,
it's just a reminder for all of us.
She sounded genuine. She sounded like she was in real pain. People can be good liars, and the emotion may be coming from something else.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Do I want to go all there or not? Yeah, exactly.
I said it for you. Simple terms.
There you go. Simple terms is good because I never would have gotten those few words out.
I've been fooled in the past way too much.
Oh my gosh. Oops, just one second. I just want to catch. That didn't sit with me last night. Oh, and hey, Frankie baby, I'm sorry. I think I don't know if I kind of snapped you or corrected you or something last night. Sorry about that. I'm just getting tired, and I do, when people are guests on the channel, I do want to be respectful to them. And I've never had a guest where, you know, the next day I ended up speaking about them in a live stream in a way where I was questioning them. I've definitely never done that before, but this is a special situation.
Well, she just kind of like bombed your life, though. I mean, she
showed
was in
up.
the chat,
yeah,
and then she was like, "No one's paying attention to me," blah blah blah
Yeah.
blah, and then the whole chat blew up about it. So at this point, your hand was kind of forced to, okay, let's listen to this person.
Yeah,
And you did. And
Yeah.
and here we are now. It's a 2-day thing though when that happens.
Yeah, man, it's like a freaking, yeah. Someone was saying it was like a sleepover last night. All of a sudden, it was like the sun was coming up, the crickets were chirping.
That's true.
But I was wondering, I was thinking, as we're saying, oh, she's here and stuff. I was just going through this in my mind. I'm like, am I going to let her come up? Because, something that I think is unique about this channel, or something that I'm most proud of, or I want to continue to maintain about this channel, is I pride ourselves on, facts, truth, not bullshit, evidence-based, substantiated discussion and presentation of facts or reality as it is. Do I want to bring someone up who might be, lying and spreading misinformation, as we say? Fake news. Do I want to introduce fake news into the YouTubeosphere? So, I eventually obviously decided that, well, I don't freaking know the exact right answer, so I'm just going to go with what I think is my best judgment right now.
Well, I mean, I think you felt a responsibility to follow up on what happened yesterday, because if you don't, then it just is what it was.
Well, exactly. And so that's why we're here right now, even though I'm exhausted. I was like, I can't not follow up on that, especially after, having that person who had been contacting me, who is local, who is related to the family, who is vetted today. And after all the feedback I got from you guys, and so many people saying this needs to be reported, and deciding that, what, you guys are right. My sense of that is right. I'm going to contact the FBI. There was just too much that happened to not follow up. So here we are. Just can't leave that kind of thing hanging.
You can't. There's a certain integrity about this channel.
Yes.
That must be maintained, and I know that's why people keep coming back.
Yes. And I hope so. And I hope you guys, I know, yes, I think that is something that people like about this channel. That's why you guys are awesome. But then also trying to maintain a certain level of integrity and sanity, and not the what the fuck is going on? You guys are all obviously wearing your clown hats, nose and shoes today, because this is all just craziness. We need to, I don't know, come on, people, in the true crime community in general, let's reel it in, man. Reel it in. Let's bring it back to, I don't know, whatever analogy you go ahead and pick it, but stop with the insanity, please.
Yeah. And then if we were wrong about anything, we'll say that. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, we got that wrong, but glad the truth is out there. It's not a personal hit on anybody either, but just got to be careful with what you believe on the internet, and spend your hours listening to.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I just want to read this comment from Frankie baby here. This is a very good point. My question is, why mention seeing someone call the police, and then she lied and said she didn't say anyone called the police about the lights in the car and the lake. She lied about everything. Yeah, I mean, well, that's exactly it. I think that she, well, let's listen to this interview, and I'm going to start this. We'll answer the question after. Good segue there. Okay. Let me bring it into the stream. And guys, thank you for being here this evening. I didn't even get to say hello to everyone like I usually do. I just came in on a mission.
You're on fire.
I just it's just so gross. Okay, here. Welcome or welcome back to What's the Obsession. This is Kelly bringing you the Kiely Rodni case. So the recording that you're going to hear is from Ick and Mel's channel. This is a person named Megan who called in on August 10th. So this date is really important, August 10th. Now, remember, the dive team first went into Prosser Lake on August 9th, and then they went back in. So it's important to remember that this call is from August 10th. This call has been out there. I haven't really known what to think about this caller. And just, I believe it was yesterday, the same person, Megan, was on a channel Behind the Crimes with Michelle Sutton. I actually really like this Michelle Sutton. I'm going to, of course, leave her channel in the description box. Click the link, check it out. The same person, Megan, was on a channel Behind the Crimes with Michelle Sutton. I actually really like this Michelle Sutton. I'm going to, of course, leave her channel in the description box. Click Okay, the I don't need link, to promote check her it out. twice. So here we go.
916. How you doing?
It's me, Megan.
Hi, Megan. How you doing?
Megan, it's me. Good. Okay, I want to clarify some things so you guys can figure that, like, so you guys can help. I talked to Sam last night, late last night, and I went over a whole bunch of things. They were going back and forth the car during the party when they told them to do everything else. They went then back to the party.
You're kind of breaking up. Can you
Stayed
say
there,
that again? It's kind of breaking up a little bit.
Okay, so Sam was at the party with Kylie. They were at the party. They were going back and forth to the car. They came back and they were going to go home. And Kylie said to Sam, "How much are you okay to drive?" Kylie said, "No, I'm not going to drive yet. And I want to stay longer." So they went back to the party and stayed for a few minutes longer, like a half an hour. That's when Sam found a friend that was completely sober and drove home with that person. But there was a person that stayed there they were camping out there. If they get too drunk, they do camp out there. That is something we do in this town.
Oh, okay. 916. Is this Megan?
I did lose you.
Hey.
I lost you, yes. Okay, so I'll try. I am in bad cell service because that's what happens up here. But what it comes down to is that they were trying to figure out how they were going to get home. They were all talking to each other to try to figure out what they were going to say to their parents because they wanted to stay longer at the party. Some of them wanted to stay later. Some of them wanted to spend the night. It's known fact that in the town that if they get, all of their parents knew where they were and have said to them if they get too drunk to stay there. That's what we do in this town. It's been known for 20 years. So they've stayed out there many times. Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay, I can hear you too because I'm listening to you on there. So there's a little bit of a delay in it, but that's okay. So what I was just trying to say is that they were going back and forth on who was going to stay later. They thought that Kylie stayed the night out there, but at 8 o'clock in the morning, when people went to go leave, her car had been gone. So and the last time that Sam saw her was at 12:30 when they texted each other.
I was the last person to see her and talk to her. Actually, she called me at 12:36 in the morning, asking if I still needed a ride home from the party, even though about 10 minutes before that, I had told her like I'm leaving. I already have another ride because I didn't want to drive home with her.
All right, there was that contempt there when she says drive home with her. Disgust and contempt. We see Sami Smith flash expressions, nonverbals, of contempt and disgust when talking about Kiely Rodni in certain situations, including this whole ride home deal. In my opinion, Sami did not like Kylie at all.
Asking if I still needed a ride home from the party, even though about 10 minutes before that, I had told her like I'm leaving.
And I'm not going to kiss Sami's ass, by the way, just for the record, as was suggested.
No.
Hell's a
What a thing to say. What a thing to say.
I was kind of like, I didn't like being talked to like that on my own channel. I didn't like you guys. I didn't like any of you guys here being talked to like that on my channel. But I mean, there was really, what were the alternatives at that point? So thank you.
She calls Sami Sam, but she never really says Kylie's name ever. And it bothers me because It's just all about, she says Sam so much. And
Mhm.
it just to me, it didn't sound like she cared about Kylie or what happened to Kylie or who cares. If these kids did something wrong, then they need to at least answer for it. I'm sorry, but you
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, yes, absolutely.
If it was
And
an
Ask her if I still
accident, then it was an accident. I'm sorry.
right.
And then law
No,
enforcement will do what they need to do with that information. But come on.
exactly. I totally agree.
needed a ride home from the party, even though about 10 minutes before that I had told her, like, I'm leaving. I already have another ride because I didn't want to drive home with her.
Contempt.
And so I had told her that, but she still ended up calling me at 12:36 asking if I needed a ride, and she sounded just really drunk, I guess.
So and the last time that Sam saw her was at 12:30 when they texted each other, and they said they were coming home. That Kylie was at the party still, and
Wait, hold on. What's that?
What did she say?
Let's listen.
That Sam saw her was
Last
really
time Sam
drunk,
saw
I
her.
guess.
Okay, last time Sam saw her was 12:30. She says, which I did notice is a time that is really not in the timeline. You know, Sam notes the 12:36 call, and a couple times she references that she actually, I think, saw her and told her, like, bitch, buzz off. I'm not driving home with you. You can take your drunk ass home or whatever you want yourself, because I ain't your friend. About 10 minutes before the 12:36 call. So 12:30, is she just estimating here? I don't know. Let's listen closely.
Yes.
Really drunk, I guess.
so and the last time that Sam saw her was at 12:30 when they texted each other, and they said they were coming home. That Kylie was at the party still, and everybody was like kind of just whining, starting to leave. So the only thing that they don't know is who saw her leave. They can't find out who saw her leave. I did find out there was something that's happened at the party, not bad on anything else, but it hasn't been very much talked about because I asked this question and it just kind of shot from there. So if someone knows what happened later in the party, nothing bad, and just something that happened later in the party that was a small thing and it started then, that would be helpful to know where she was and who she left with after that.
So the thing that happened, you guys aren't making that public, though? You're not really talking about it? Are you able to say what happened, or?
I don't know. I guess I can say there's a fire that was started, like a bonfire, that was started later in the evening. But when a lot of the people were there at the beginning of the party, there was no fire. And when I mentioned a fire, they said it started out later. So I said, did anybody see Kylie after the fire started when they were all sitting around? They said no. So they need to know who left before the fire started at the place than before.
What?
Do you know if there's any reportings
Yeah, I
of
know. Here, let's
anybody
listen to that
weird or
again.
scary?
Jesus.
But she just said that the last time that Kylie and Sammy saw each other was when they were texting each other.
Yeah, I know.
we're
I mean, that's
leaving.
just dumb. That's just a stupid statement.
Oh my goodness.
I know. Here, let's listen to that whole little bit about the fire again.
Are you able to say what happened, or?
I don't know. I guess I can say there's a fire that was started, like a bonfire, that was started later in the evening. But when a lot of the people were there at the beginning of the party, there was no fire. And when I mentioned a fire, they said it started out later. So I said, did anybody see Kylie after the fire started when they were all sitting around? They said no. So they need to know who left before the fire started at the place than before.
Do you know if there's any reportings that anybody weird or sketchy out there, or anybody that stood out? Have you heard anything about anything like that? Amazing.
I'm hearing everything you're saying, and I'm not trying to save Sam Bass. I'm not trying to make problems. I'm trying to get the truth out. No, they don't know where I'm
Save her
nervous.
from
That's
what?
why I don't have very much service. So I only can say exactly.
Why does she have to save Sam's ass? Nobody brought that up. And now she's saying, oh, I don't have that much service. I've got to say what I've got to I got to say what I got to say. What she's saying is, I've got to push out my agenda.
If Sam didn't do anything wrong, there's nothing to save. She's fine. She's been cleared.
Exactly, because nobody else mentions saving Sam's ass. This one mentions it twice here.
Exactly.
I'm not trying to make problems. I'm not trying to save Sam Bass. I'm not trying to make I'm not trying to save Sam Bass. I'm not trying to make problems. I'm trying to get the truth out. No, they don't know where
What?
I'm nervous. That's why I don't have very much service. So I only can say
what, Ara?
And you're lying. She's lying. That's
yeah.
why. That's
Yeah.
why. Oh, I'm nervous. No, because you're lying.
Exactly.
And she said they. Oh my God, this is annoying.
I know. Here, I'll go back a few seconds.
I'm gonna stop
Listen to
interrupting you. I'm sorry.
all these terrible things that are said.
To get the truth out. No, they don't know where I'm nervous. That's why I don't have very much service. So I only can say exactly what I have time to say before I have to call back again. No, they don't know where I'm nervous.
Before I have to call back again, why? Does she need to get like refed her lines and call back? I don't get that.
She needs to calm down and remember the narrative.
Right.
That's why I don't have very much service. So I only can say exactly what I have time to say before I have to call back again.
Okay.
No one is trying to save anybody Sam behind. I'm not trying to save Sam's behind. We just want to find Kylie.
Yeah, we got that.
The party was going out of control. Yes, there were people from the Auburn, from the Bay Area all the way to Reno and to Sacramento, the whole basin. We have short-term rentals up here that people come up and stay. If you have a short-term rental in Tahoe, call your neighbors, have them check your security cameras, have them check your garages. The car is not in the water. It's not. They've looked in the water. They've had divers. They've had everywhere.
I don't even understand what she's saying. Well, my friend that vetted the person that contacted me from Truckee actually does have several short-term rentals in Tahoe.
Yep.
So I wonder if he got that message.
Hmm.
Hey, let's listen to that last few seconds there.
Yes,
again.
please.
It's really bizarre shit. I'm gonna see if he'll talk to me more about this. I think he will. He will. Yeah. We're gonna talk to this guy more.
From the Auburn, from the Bay Area all the way to Reno and to Sacramento, the whole basin. We have short-term rentals up here that people come up and stay. If you have a short-term rental in Tahoe, call your neighbors, have them check your security cameras, have them check your garages. The car is not in the water. It's not. They've looked in the water. They've had divers. They've had everyone.
Wait a minute. I gotta listen to that again. Hold it.
Yeah. She says a lot right there.
She does. I'm gonna slow it down. All right. So obviously it's gonna be warped because I'm gonna play it back at 50%, but I just gotta slow it down. So it's gonna be about the point where she's saying, if you got your short-term rentals,
in Tahoe, call your neighbors, have them check your security cameras, have them check your garages. The car is not at in the water. It's not. They've looked in the water.
Right.
They've had divers.
No. The car is not at the where. We need to get this. All right. We need to get this one.
Check your security cameras. Have them check your garages. The car is not at
garage
No. She says the car is not at where the
No, she says at first it's not. Check your garages. That's what she says. She says,
yes.
And that's interesting also, I think.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I caught that every other time, but cool. Okay, I noted that. I wrote it down in my notebook. You just screamed when I was trying to listen.
I'm so sorry.
I'm just joking. Okay, here we go.
Have them check your security cameras. Have them check your garages. The car is not at in the water. It's not. They've looked.
This is what I want. The car is not at what is she saying there? We're going to listen to it 2 more times, not saying anything. Then chat, hook us up, help us out. Wait, hold it. Let me put on my little editing mode here. Headphones. Shit's getting serious. This is when I hear Bella and Cece say crazy stuff in the background. Hold it. Wait, hold it. Wait a minute.
Water, they've had divers. They've had
Okay, I gotta go back. Please don't make any loud noises, Ara, or my eardrums might pop. Not that I would expect you to, because you're quiet like a mouse. Like a little mouse that leads you to the grocery store.
I muted now.
Okay. But you're not, because I can hear you.
I unmuted.
Okay. Oh, I got you. No, oh my God. Woo! It's fun being exhausted. Here we go.
Everywhere else. And there's only one way in and one way out of the party. Most of the kids stayed overnight. Some of them left. The girls and guys do this all the time.
Hold
They
it.
tell their
I
parents
think I go back a little
in
further.
one way out of in the water. If you have a short-term rental in Tahoe, call your neighbors, have them check your security cameras, have them check your garages. The car is not at but where the in the water, it's not. They've looked in the water. They've had divers. They've had everywhere else. And there's only one way in and one way out of the party. From the Auburn.
Playing it again.
From the Bay Area all the way to Reno and to Sacramento, the whole basin. We have short-term rentals up here that people come up and stay. If you have a short-term rental in Tahoe, call your neighbors, have them check your security cameras, have them check your garages. The car is not at but where in the water, it's not. They've looked in the water. They've had divers. They've had everywhere else. And there's only one way in and one way out of the party. Most of the kids stayed overnight. Some of them left. The girls and guys do this all the time. They tell their parents, you're 16 years old, you get messed up, and then you stay where you land. And you get home the next morning. That's what we're trained to do. That's how we know how to do it.
Hi. Okay, I'm trying. Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Unfortunately, yes. Okay.
Yeah, I hear you.
Is it better? Maybe since you're calling me and I got it. How I know, Sam, I can hear you if I go onto your thing, but I can't hear you if I talk. You don't always come through because of the lag. So I can hear you when I go back onto your website. I can then see what's going on, but I can't necessarily hear you. I've known Sam for approximately 5 years, and she was good friends with my daughter. We've taken her camping. We've hung out with her before. She's been around my family. I know her very well. It's a small town that we live in, and so everybody does know everybody. A lot of these kids all know each other. But this is the problem, is that there is too many people that showed up. It was actually a boring party, and there was nothing going on, just drinking and lots of things that were happening at the party.
I'm sorry. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to sound really stupid, but I'm okay with that. Every time she speaks about this party, it almost sounds like, were you there?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm really wrong, but that's just...
No, she has a lot. I mean, she certainly has a lot of detail about it.
And then she said that this is what we're trained to do. If people get too drunk, we're trained to stay there. And this is what we've been doing for 20 years. It's weird, man.
It is really weird. And yeah, capricious. They threw glow sticks at people. What? I know. Oh, man. Yeah, it is. It is. It's very weird. It is absolutely super weird.
I mean, have you not grown up? Are you still living? Did you peak in high school, woman? I'm sorry, not being a little rude, but stop me. But did you peak in high school, woman, and you're still going to these parties way late after? I mean, I don't know. I'm just
something is strange. I mean, I don't know. What does that mean? That let's see here, another challenge morning Tuesday.
I think Reno is important. I've always thought that with Kate and Jagger. I don't know what it is, but there's something important that they searched there instead of tell your bunnies to be quiet, Miss Kelly. No, just kidding.
I know.
I'm joking. But it's just weird. It's just these facts that are weird.
Or yeah, facts are not facts. Yeah, details.
Yeah, sorry, I'm tired too.
Yeah, no, I know. Sorry, that's me talking to myself. Really, small things. Yeah. So Kathleen, you're saying, some of you are picking up on this. We talked about this a little last night. Exactly. The small thing will let us be the judge of that. When she's saying, oh, it was something that happened. It was just not a big thing. It wasn't a bad thing. She's I don't know. She's trying to pull off this, kind of in order for people to believe it, it would kind of have to be a complicated, fabrication of a story that remained consistent, and she is simply not capable of doing that. Some people, it's not, a great thing, as Tammy Lee would tell us, it's not a good thing to be a good liar, right? But she just can't pull it off, that's for sure.
Does she keep going back and forth that she knows Sam well, but doesn't? We know her well. She comes and hangs out. We've been camping, but then in other times where she's been on panel, she says, I don't know her that well. She's, she just hangs out with my daughter. Like, she distances herself, but then does it. Depends on the situation, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I think so too. Oh, sorry, I'm being a little spacey right now. I just got to the part. I didn't realize I was so far behind a chat when I had asked about, what do you guys hear her say when she says, oh, the car is not at, wait, let's see here. Car was in the water. Yes, let's see. Just want to see what the responses were here. And then I see.
Well, they were saying some good stuff.
Yeah, totally. Reno. We're saying Reno. She's saying the car's not at Reno. Oh,
yeah. Someone was asking if you could play it back.
Yeah, I definitely will do that. Yeah, let me see what the other responses were. The car wasn't in the water. But the car was found in the water. I know.
Yeah.
What did Anna say that was a good catch? I need to read the good catches. Where's the good catch? Are we saying Ara, Anna? Let's see.
I said something about, she says, check your garages, which is a weird thing to say. So was the car in the garage? Because I know
that was weird.
My personal theory is that the car was there after they searched.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel a certain kind of way of disrespecting 18, 19 different agencies looking for this vehicle.
Right.
So I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. So maybe the car wasn't there.
Right.
And
so I know.
Was it placed there after and put in a garage for holding for a while? I mean, that's, again, my theory.
I know. I don't know. Good catch, Arj. Okay, gotcha. Oh, Jody is cool. Are you kissing Ara's butt? You're calling that she got garage was a good cat. No, I'm just kidding. That's just another chance to pick on you about that. Okay, so Brooklyn says the car is not at Boca. Maybe we've got Reno, Boca. And DC Primetime is still confused, but she's coming back with another, what would you call this, submission, saying the car is not at the water where the in the water. That's what I heard too, DC Primetime. We've got to figure that out. Yeah, Frankie Baby also says it's not at the what? Yes, exactly. So we got Reno Reservoir. Sean. Ooh. I think she meant to say the reservoir, but stumbled like she does. Yeah, I got those headphones, Kelly. I know. Exhaustion. Someone stole my night of sleep last night, okay? I know. I'm just crazy anyhow. The reservoir, says Mrs. Kelly. And TC Primetime. I love this. She just says, what is And I know she's like really like, what is I know she's upset about that too. I love you, DC.
Yeah. Like, what were you trying to say that you didn't say?
I know. We love you too, honey bun. Honeybee, I'm sorry. Honeybee is definitely a What's the Obsession channel person.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Sis Vicious is like, okay, everybody, duh. I think she started to say reservoir, but then she said water. I think reservoir could, parentheses for locals, refer to a specific place that she didn't want to say, where water is more ambiguous. Freaking brilliant, Sis.
Maybe.
Very good.
Yeah.
Betty says, hi, Betty says, loose links, lips sink ships. Well, it's definitely sunk. Now, time to play the piper for the lies. Yep-a-roo.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That was a really good point, Sis, by the way. I just read that
Mhm.
again. Kevin says, Kevin, don't throw any curveballs at me tonight, okay? Says, go look at Reno. Kylie's car isn't in the water. Kevin, I'm going to require that you expand on this statement. I know I've heard some things like this, but from nobody that I actually believe. So now that it's coming from Kevin, I want to be a cowboy bashnik, or what tonight actually it's Kevin exploiting my core competencies, Bashnik.
Damn.
Could you please explain more? I need you to explain more, please.
What a name he chose.
I know, it's so funny.
The
DP is like, things are clicking for her, but she's still a little confused. I can sense this about her. Says, one way in and one way out of the party. Yes. That's what she said.
Yeah. Who else says that? I feel like some people have said this. Like SF said that also, didn't he? A lot of people say that there's only one way and one way in, one way out.
Yeah, well, I guess what stood out to me was people talking about, and I remember this from a couple different sources, and I honestly don't remember exactly who they were. I just recall listening to this, like, okay, I'm going to listen to this as though I might actually believe what these people are saying because they're trustworthy.
Yeah.
That the conditions of the road, of course, was as it was, and having to do also with this time of year. But then when whatever happened at the party that caused all of those cars to do chaotic car things, however that went down, maybe this is how I'm just envisioning it, like a possible, like maybe dirt road, something was blocked off. You could no longer go a certain way. It was blocked off by this clusterfuck of cars, I guess. I don't know. I'm still not clear on what happened. I don't know if anyone is, but
Yeah, I think I know what you're saying. And then that's where that conversation comes up where, okay, well, if there's only one way or out, and then all the kids are leaving at the same time, there's this trail of vehicles back to back trying to leave this party at 12:30. Right. But then Kylie's car she was so drunk she just didn't even see the lights. And I mean, that's a weird story to believe.
It's really weird. Ooh, Rick the Explorer says she might know that Kylie is in the rear. Oh, these are good. Hi, Rick, by the way, welcome.
That's interesting.
See, Reno. Okay, I'm like 10 minutes behind. Okay, so now Sis says maybe Reno. And she says to Mrs. Kelly, good eye on that. Cool. Yeah. Sis being awesome as always. Okay, so let's go back a little more. So, because Mrs. Kelly says to Sis, only because she had mentioned Reno just before that next sentence. Now, Kevin, exploiting my core competencies, Bashnik, although you mentioned that about the car being in Reno a while back, I'm still waiting for clarification because I need that.
Yeah. Tiffany says, I know where. It's at the Y.
What did she say?
She says, I know where. It's at the Y. I don't know what she's talking about. I do want to know your take on the Reno thing later, maybe, because I know you have to do a lot of research, but the Reno thing bothers me with Kate and Jagger. Always has.
Yeah, it does too. I got to get clear on exactly.
Yeah.
I got to get clear on some of that because I think I mean I have a story in my head, but when I start to really think about it, what I understand is that I just have a story in my head and I'm not as clear as I need to be on the facts.
Yeah.
Jody is cool. Says, remember, nothing happened at this boring party. That's right. It definitely was small.
Friendly fights, and then people fighting over who won the friendly fights. The Y intersection, she said. Okay.
And if somebody does get hurt, then there are people there to handle that.
Of course. That's very responsible of them.
Let's see. She is just repeating what she was told is fact. Let's not stoop this low. Let's see. Who's mimicking each other? Am I doing that? Sorry if I'm. Let's see here. I don't know.
Was that the only part of that interview with Ikmel? Was it?
Yeah, that was the was there more, guys? I don't even remember. That was the part that I just had saved on file that stood out as being super interesting to me. Please tell me Elvis married you. What?
Oh, because we were talking about Reno. It's an important. And then someone said, "Yeah, I was married there."
Yeah, gotcha. Yes, I am going to play it again. I'll play it again regular and then slow. And Frankie Baby says Reno is important. I feel that too. Jody Sue vibes. Who's Sue? Okay, I'm almost current here. Sorry, guys.
I'm gonna drop the membership link down below, y'all.
Oh,
while we're
thank
doing
you, darling.
this. There you go. Don't forget to like it.
Oh, so Mrs. Kelly says, Kevin's mom told me he was born with superhuman eardrums. Great job, Kev. What did Kevin hear? You guys are just playing with me. Because then I scroll back up looking for Kevin. Oh, Kevin, you didn't say anything. Okay. Yeah. I'm ignoring you now, Kevin. We're no longer friends for today. All right.
Ouch.
Let's see. Hi, Chick Tracy. How are ya? Oh, Brooklyn. That's brilliant. What did Brooklyn say? That's brilliant. Keeping. Oh, re is in reserve, right? They call it Boca Reserve sometimes. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So we're going to listen to it again. Let's see. Y intersection. That's where it got blocked off. Yeah. The Y intersection. Yeah. Imagine what? Hold it. What did you say? Just imagine you find out your housekeeper is Megan.
Oh my God.
I'm hiding on my guys. Well, actually, when she was just on Crime Stories Obsessed, True Story. They were like, she's taking her medication tonight. We have her medicated tonight.
Whoa.
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
I didn't have what?
Yeah, and I thought it was like,
why would you say that?
Why would you say that? I was just talking with a student I work with today about he had a very bad experience at a district he was at a place he was at some point. Anyway, I've been dealing heavily with this particular situation. I can't tell you anymore because some people go and ruin it for everybody. But he was telling me a story about a teacher who, embarrassed him in front of, his peers. And we were just discussing how that's like a certain kind of really mean-spirited way of treating a person. And I don't know. I kind of was thinking that when she was like, she took her medication tonight. Really, she took some she's on the medication tonight. I was like, what the heck?
You don't say things like that. I'm sorry. No matter how much you dislike the person, that's so personal.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah. No, I totally.
It's just like outing someone. And then all you're doing is insinuating, making people now come up with weird things in their mind.
Yeah.
About what the medication is about. I can say I'm on medication, but I'm taking Tylenol because my foot's swollen, you know?
Right,
Like,
totally.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. The sounds in the background, it might be me hitting my space bar. I'm sorry, I don't have my microphone broke, so I don't have a good microphone right now. But it also might be one of my 31 resident bunnies making noise. They're like trying to dig a hole, except they're not outside, so they're not going anywhere. So you just hear like something like that. All right, let's listen to it again. So we have Reno, Reservoir, Reserve, and then, Ara's Brilliant Grudge.
Sorry.
I'm just kidding.
Welcome back.
Just so much fun teasing you now. Okay, here we go.
Sorry.
I'm hearing everything you're saying, and I'm not trying to save Sam's ass. I'm not trying to make problems. I'm trying to get the truth out. No, they don't know where I'm nervous. That's why I don't have very much service. So I only can say exactly what I have to say.
No, they don't know where what. Hold it. Jeez. This crazy. This is crazy.
I'm not trying to make problems. I'm trying to get the truth out. No, they don't know where I'm nervous. That's why I don't have very much service. So I only can say exactly what I have to say before I have to call back again. No, they don't know where I'm nervous. That's why I don't have very much service. So I only can say exactly what I have to say before I have to call back again.
Yeah, sorry, patty cakes. I don't know. Sometimes it's just like part of the, that's just sometimes how it is. When my microphone is in good working order and all of that, I don't think you hear it as much. But tonight, all I can say is sorry. I'm doing my best.
No one is trying to save anybody, Sam, behind. I'm not trying to save Sam's behind. We just want to find KIELY. The party was going out of control. Yes, there were people from the Auburn, from the Bay Area, all the way to Reno and to Sacramento, the whole basin. We have short-term rentals up here that people come up and stay. If you have a short-term rental in Tahoe, call your neighbors, have them check your security cameras, have them check your garages. The car is not in the water. It's not. They've looked in the water. They've had divers. They've had everywhere else. So there's only one way in and one way out of the party. Most of the kids stayed overnight. Some of them left. The girls and guys do this all the time. They tell their parents, "You're 16 years old. You get messed up, and then you stay where you land, and you get home the next morning." That's what we're trained to do. That's how we know how to do it.
Hi. Okay, I'm trying. Hold on. You hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you.
Is it better? Maybe since you're calling me and I got it. How I know, Sam, I can hear you if I go onto your thing, but I can't hear you if I talk. You don't always come through because of the lag. So I can hear you when I go back onto your website. I can then see what's going on, but I can't necessarily hear you. I've known Sam for approximately 5 years, and she was good friends with my daughter. We've taken her camping. We've hung out with her before. She's been around my family. I know her very well. It's a small town that we live in, and so everybody does know everybody. A lot of these kids all know each other. But this is the problem, is that there is too many people that showed up. It was actually a boring party, and there was nothing going on, just drinking and lots of things that were happening at the party.
That's super weird.
I don't know.
I know. It's weird. Here, I'm looking. I just actually thought of something. Welcome are extremely important. I'm just looking for a timeline. Here, doesn't let's play it quick.
Don't forget you need sleep, Miss Ma'am.
I know. I will get, yes.
Just reminding you, because
I'm going to set my alarm for 15 minutes from now.
So Shanda is in chat and she says that she got a message from Megan.
Okay.
And then I said, well, why? Like Megan sent you a message, and she said because I checked up on her and asked her a few questions to prove her authenticity to knowing Scammy. Oh, I see what you did there with Sammy's name. Good. My dry humor is weird. Sorry, y'all.
and
I say, well, I'm
was
saying,
anything? Okay.
I don't know. Let's see what happens. When was this interview, by the way, or when did she call in? What day was this?
Yeah, it was August 10th. So I'm going to show you a timeline next here. But you know what? I can't even remember what's in here. So, you know.
So like a few days after she was reported missing, she calls Ikmail.
Correct. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. It's really.
I wonder if she was just surfing on YouTube
Normal
and just
thing to
found
do.
some guy that had a lot of viewers that also lives car chases, and just decided that he was the guy to lay this information on. Got it.
You know, she was like, you know, he's very patient. He does a good interview. He will let me talk and talk and talk till I sound like a total twisted up fool. I don't know how this happened.
I gotcha.
Guys, welcome back to Why. And Zav Girl had a source. It was a guy that claimed that he was communicating with Kate Kuno through Snapchat. So I'm going to link that video so you can go to Zav Girl's channel to watch it. I'm just going to include one screenshot here to make the point so we can figure out what's going on. And Zav Girl asked him, you know, I think she just was looking for some verification that he actually had talked to Kate. So she said, you know, do you have a picture? I'm not going to share it, but I just want to see it. You know, do you have any screenshots? And he just provided Zav Girl this one screenshot. So up until this point, when I was watching the video about this guy telling Zav Girl that Kate Kuno, Kylie's friend, and Kylie's ex-boyfriend Jagger were sleeping together, and he knew this because Kate apparently sent this guy a picture of Jagger getting dressed in the morning. I was thinking, I don't know about this. I mean, everyone knows Zav Girl's covering this case. This might just be some dickhead who's like, you know, he has nothing better to do, right? So then I just noticed that in the screenshot he provided, the name is Kate Cuneo. And then I noticed that's what Zav Girl was saying. And I'm like, well, Zav Girl knows a lot more than me. Maybe her name is Kate Cuneo. I thought it was Kate Kuno. I really struggled with this, by the way. And so then I started to look up Kate Kuno or Kate Cuneo. I looked up both names. And what I did find was that in my opinion, the reliable news and media sources that did any articles that were about Kate or included Kate had her name is Kuno. C-U-N-O. Kate Kuno.
Yep.
So the New York Post is very reputable. Okay, so maybe it's kind of very good reputable, but fine. For correct editing, putting out the name is Kate Kuno, C-U-N-O, not Kate Cuneo, not C-U-N-E-O.
But they can spell creme brulee.
Yes. With her in the morning. I don't think I buy it. I just don't. I don't know. It's hard for me to wrap my head around that. But maybe I'm wrong. So again, I might be totally wrong. Maybe it is Kate Kuno and she also goes by Kate Cuneo. I think that's a little weird, but maybe that's the case. So what I'm asking you guys is her name Kate Kuno or is it Kate Cuneo? And the next question is the guy that contacted Zav Girl for real or is he just messing with us? And the next question then is, do we continue to talk about this idea that Kate and Jagger were definitely sleeping together because this dude provided proof? Or do we say, okay, that was fun and discard it and move on? I don't know the answer. I'm asking you. Please, please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. We all want to know what you think. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the fact that they interviewed together always bugged me.
Yeah.
They interviewed together. They went together to search Reno when everybody was at the reservoir. Kate and Jagger went to Reno by themselves and then said, hey, let's call Fox 40 and invite them on our trip. That says enough for me.
Yeah. I mean, is that how it happened? That was weird. I know it was definitely weird. Yeah.
Yes, that's how it happened. Fox 40 got the exclusive interview. They're the only ones that interviewed them. And they said in the interview that we got the exclusive. We followed them to a place where Jagger and Kylie would go together to have quote unquote alone time.
That I know that always has sat strange with me. And also I just see like some you know, the way she looks at him is kind of, I mean, I don't know. I get a feeling from it.
That says a lot. If you guys, I'm not
Hmm.
going to tell you what to think about that. I know what I think about that, but look at it really and dissect that, and it tells you
Mhm.
enough, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. What are you saying to look at and dissect?
Just their body language, the fact that they interview together. Come
Uh-huh.
on, not even the parents, the biological parents are interviewed together. Mags and Sami are interviewed together just a couple of times. But
Mhm.
the only time that Jagger interviews is with Kate. There's some relationship there. Whether
Yeah.
it's their closeness to Kylie or something else, we don't know. We know how kids are with dating
Yeah.
each other and their circles.
Mhm. Yeah. Yep. Totally. I very much agree with that. Can you see the comments in chat?
Yes, I can.
Are there any comments to read?
I am. Let's see. I think there are two. Frankie Baby says, I think there is too many coincidences in this case. Too many coincidences aren't coincidences.
Mhm.
Look at the way Kate looks at him. They sleep
Yeah.
together, and in some pics, Kate looks like the third wheel with Kylie and
Mhm.
Jagger. Not good.
Hmm.
Brandy says it was found to be legit. Kate was sent a message and responded saying that the Snapchat should have been deleted. Zaf posted the message back from Kate.
Mhm.
Yep. I think people are seeing the same thing we're seeing.
Yeah. Yikes. Oh goodness. Here, I'm trying to find. All right, I think this is gonna do it. I'm trying to find something specific, and I think I just found it, but I gotta make sure. August
And
9th.
we respect all creators here. I mean, no creator is perfect. Adrian says just goes to show Zaf doesn't really care about this new content creator because she probably read the chat and sent them on. I don't know. Whatever drama happens in other chats is really like it's their own drama. You don't have to bring it here.
Yeah. Oh, geez. Freaking YouTube drama. Yeah, we try not drama. I know there's some, but there is some by nature, but
It's interesting though how they get into people's DMs. Like the people that are in the case, quote unquote. I mean, do you really believe they are those people? Anybody can create a username.
Right. And we've seen people have, very effectively photoshopped photos.
All these videos are going out. Jagger is still posting a line. These kids can do whatever they want on the internet, y'all. They can still post TikToks. They can still do Instagram. That's fine. We're not mad at them. Nobody's trying to come at them. It's just what happened to Kylie. At the end of the day, we just care about what happened to her.
Exactly. That's what we want to know.
Why doesn't it make sense? Are we even? Does it even matter that we know? I mean, it really doesn't. I guess sometimes I feel are we acting like entitled people, like that we need to know?
Well, I know what you're saying. I guess that crosses my mind too. But I mean, I just always know, like for myself, the answer always it just is like I believe in participating in our justice system, and I believe, I feel strongly about arriving in a place of justice for people that don't have a voice.
Yeah.
Here, I'm going to play a little bit of this press conference from August 10th. And the reason August 10th is that is the same day of that call in from Megan that we've listened to a little bit. So I want to get this context here. And then I'm going to have to I'll do another live stream later this week because there's so much that I would have liked to discuss this evening, but it ain't going to happen. I'm just too tired. I can't make the transitions. I usually can transition from one thing to another pretty well.
StreamYard is outdated.
No, it's just like in my own like flow. But yeah, StreamYard is out. StreamYard is out. See, I can't even speak. Okay, let's see what they have to say. Once they start saying something. Whoa. Unless we can't hear them.
Our Placer County Sheriff's Lieutenant Josh Barnhart will be discussing the operational side of the investigation as it stands today.
afternoon, everyone. I'd like to start with KIELY and her family and just say that we are continuing every effort, every lead possible to this point. We've been in communication with the family constantly, in-person meetings with them to ensure that they're receiving every bit of information possible. We've also been keeping up with trying to push out as much information as possible to the community, and we really think that
It is kind of low.
Yeah, I can't turn it up at all.
in this time. We've come together as a community here with our partners in Nevada County, the California Highway Patrol, the FBI, Truckee Police. The FBI at this point has dedicated.
Oh, guys, listen, hold it. I don't want anyone to think I'm being misleading. I never said Megan was coming on. She's not invited on tonight. She made that appearance on the whatever that channel was I played a small clip from, said pretty much what she said here last night, except she softened it a little bit. She made some of the things that she emphasized as being extremely important last night. You know, now they're much less important in the way it's just nothing new. So there is no news. The news is that the story that, you know, she has been telling, and, you know, and I hope like she's okay. I don't want anything bad for this woman. I don't know what the deal is, but the story she has been telling is coming undone. She's, you know, kind of painting herself into these corners. And I guess what is happening is keep telling these stories that are alarming. Well, now I myself have contacted the FBI. Another creator who's on here has as well. I'm sure other people have as well, and contacted law enforcement, you know, at various levels. And, you know, people are also pointing out things like, well, since you recorded your phone call with this woman who was apparently, you know, telling you information about the moments when KIELY's life ended that nobody else would know, that are so critical and pivotal, that you have to see your pastor and the FBI might be at your door and where's your dad and a mouse and a snake, and you can't say, and the parents, and oh my gosh, you recorded that phone call. And now people are pointing out that California is a two-party state, and they're also pointing out that means that the person on the other end of the phone call you've said you recorded, like, I don't know, 100 times at this point, could take legal action against you, Megan, you know, and I don't want that, but, you know, it might be a good idea to stop talking because this is not working well anymore. Whatever it is that you or whomever is trying to do, I don't think you're accomplishing it. You know, might have thrown people off track for a short time. Some people are annoyed, some people are tired, but it really has made no significant difference. And, you know, Megan, I don't want anything bad for you, but, you know, if you keep it up, there's going to be, you know, probably unfortunate natural consequences.
Well, she's going to do it to herself.
Exactly.
And the video you were just trying to play, I found the YouTube from Placer County Sheriff's Office of that day, August 10th. I put it in the private chat for you. Probably have better audio. If you still want to play it, it's up to you.
Thank you. Let me check it out. Yeah, thank you very much, because that audio was like kind of painful.
Yeah, Gregory Worth said it. She's weaving her own web.
Exactly. Hi, Gregory.
Shout out Mexican Mouse.
They were killing me in chat with all the mouse things.
Yeah.
Oh, that was hilarious.
That was Mighty
Holy
Mouse,
cow.
says
That
Gregory.
was great. Oh, you guys are so funny. All right. So this is the August 10th. All right. Let's see if I can get the transcript and highlights.
Chris Gravel says, I've always thought that the older girls in Jagger's world were jealous of how he cared about KIELY and wanted to embarrass her at the party, and things went really wrong, and now it's a lot of cover up. Possible.
Yeah, I think that's way up there on my list of possibilities as well.
Yeah, Placer was like putting updates on their YouTube page daily.
Yeah.
But then it stopped. And not close to when she was found. It just stopped after a week. And now they're just not talking about anything.
Yeah. I'm trying to listen. They're talking about community, which is totally relevant. I'm sorry, you can talk. I can still hear.
No, you're good. You're good. I just. Are you trying to share the video?
Oh, yep. Sorry. You didn't even know that. I did
No,
it
ma'am.
again. Oops. I did it again.
See, Kelly, you were being all mean, and I'm like, you're not
I
playing
know.
it.
Sometimes I'm just a nasty bitch.
Not at all.
Yeah, last night Megan's like, I think you may have said, called her like something like a nasty bitch on this channel. I was just like, probably, yes, that sounds accurate.
It's like, relax, lady.
And I don't that was the first time I ever like spoke like that, because I've been thinking it, but I just decided, all right, I'm just gonna kind of say what I don't know.
You can say what you want,
Yeah. So, well, yes, I can, but I also like to, sort of, I'm just aware of what I'm putting out there, because people are listening. We just reached 20,000 subscribers. People listen. I get a lot of feedback. I mean, not that it's like all that important to everyone out there, but I feel a responsibility for, what I put out on the channel. So let's see. Wait a minute. What the hell's going on here?
And just say that
there we go. Hold it. I got another thing.
In every lead possible to this point, we've been in communication with the family constantly.
There we go.
In-person meetings with them to ensure that they're receiving every bit of information possible. We've also been keeping up with trying to push out as much information as possible to the community, and we really thank the community for stepping up and helping law enforcement in this time. We've come together as a community here with our partners in Nevada County, the California Highway Patrol, the FBI, Truckee Police. The FBI at this point has dedicated almost 50 personnel to this search for KIELY. They are out actively searching, knocking on doors, going to businesses, recovering video. At this point, we've collected just a ton of information and video from gas stations, private businesses, private residences, ring cameras, etc. And so we're trying to decipher that information to make sure that we're picking up on the tests. Again, we'll refer the public to the tip line. Please, 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 if you have any further information for us, call that tip line and we'll follow that. I'll open it up to any questions.
It's been now 5 days since she's been missing. What's the newest update that you can give us, and do you have any new leads at this time?
So we do not have any new leads, and that I can tell you is very frustrating for us. And so we reiterate that anyone that was at the party that night, please come to law enforcement. Please go to the tip line. It is anonymous if they want to remain anonymous. We can't urge enough that people that were there know something. If you know something, please say something. Come forward about KIELY's disappearance.
Have a lot of kids turned in video from that night because they record breaking news?
Yes, there was a lot of video at the party. We've done a really good job of trying to collect that, as much of that as possible. That obviously takes time to review, hours and hours of time to review, but we're trying to narrow down the scope, and that if KIELY was seen in any of those videos, we are following it.
We're going to continue on to the search and rescue portion of this investigation, which is one of the most important portions of the investigation. I'm going to introduce now Nevada County Sheriff's Office Captain Sam Brown.
Yeah, thank you everybody for coming out. I think to start off, I just want to emphasize that we're still in unified command with the Placer County Sheriff's Office, and we're trying to gather as much information as possible, and we're really thankful for our partners. Everybody's mentioned them before, and there's tons more agencies that aren't here present that are participating, especially in the search for KIELY. To date, we have about 3,000 man hours of searching that's gone on, and we're going to continue those search efforts going forward. We've had anything from air support, ground pounders, canines, UTVs, side-by-sides, boats, air support from the state, local, and even at times federal resources. And so there's been nothing held back resource-wise in an attempt to try to locate KIELY or any clues thereof. One thing innovative that the team came up with while we've been dealing with this is a way for the community, who has been extremely supportive and extremely interested in wanting to be participants in what's going on, and who are going out actively into the field and searching. Our team was able to create a map that will allow folks in the community who are going out to track their tracks so that we can monitor and see those types of things and see if that adds some information. I'm not sure that this has ever been attempted before. We do have some concerns that it could shut down our system if too many people are logging on. So hopefully the folks that are logging on and uploading tracks are doing so justifiably and with good intention. Because if it doesn't work out, we would ultimately have to shut it down if it stops the progress or creates some problems. But those folks who have gone into the field or are going into the field on their own volition as citizens in the community, or folks who have come here to help out, there is a process that they can log on, gain access to the CalTopo app, and be able to submit tracks to our team who has some overhead and is able to review it and put that into our mapping process, but also allow us to keep going on with our professional searchers and the folks who are moving forward in business. Hopefully by tomorrow, we'll also have a system set up where folks who have gone out into the field already and maybe are using GPS and things of that nature to track their progress, will be able to upload that information and again, help us to supply with, are we in the right direction? Are we searching the right areas? Have we covered somewhere? Do we need to cover somewhere a little bit more thorough, and what that looks like? And so it's more pieces to the puzzle. We're struggling with clues, and so searches aren't super successful if you don't have a direction of where to search. At this point, we have a point last seen, and we're expanding beyond that point last seen in a systematic way that hopefully is capturing right-of-ways and things that would make sense for somebody who is leaving the area. And we're doing the best that we can in an attempt to locate KIELY. Folks who have tips, again, I'll emphasize what was said by my partners. We need people to call into the tip line, provide information, and do a good job.
So wait, I just have to address this. I really just want to get something specific here, but hi Ho Chi Winner, how are you doing? I'm coming for you. So Ho Chi Winner says, let's see. I'm a little confused here why we shouldn't hear what Megan is saying. It might have some sort of truth. Maybe I missed something here. So I let Megan speak freely while, asking everyone else to back down and give her nothing but respect and clearing the way for her and, offering all kinds of support and just allowing her to speak. I don't know how many times I just asked for people to please just let her speak for 4 hours and 48 minutes last night into this morning or whatever. Maybe it was the day before that. So she's been heard. And based on what I've heard, I'll just speak for myself. Based on what I've heard and other information I know to be true and research I've done, I am now sharing the conclusions that a reasonable, rational, intelligent person could make about what she's telling people on multiple channels. At some point, the lies need to end. So that's where I'm at, Ho Chi Winter. And I'm sure you get it.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we were all getting the same feeling.
Yeah. Some point the lies need to end. It's just got to happen. Let me see if I can find. I just want to
answer. So once again,
come on, give answers though. Really, seriously.
Or provide more background.
Yeah.
You can see she's wearing not a black tank top.
Right.
To KIELY every lead. _ Tahoe Invest social media accounts on Facebook, Twitter. That is a photo from the winter of her vehicle, and that is the most accurate description of. Yeah, so our detectives are continuing to follow up on those leads.
Dogs, tracking dogs, evidence dogs, and unfortunately, in the needs of these things, we send out cadaver dogs as well to just cover all bases, because we're not putting anything off of the table. I didn't mention it earlier, but we have swimmers in the water literally looking for evidence and things like that on locations that we think might have something. And we're trying everything that we can. So there are human beings in the water swimming. And
This is what I wanted.
Intel based off of what they can see in the water as well. And so far, still no clues that are ending up in this.
And so those divers and swimmers will continue in the next few days, to your knowledge.
Yeah, as long as we have a reason to believe that we're using that resource for the right way and with some purpose.
You said the searches have been unsuccessful. What's your new tactic moving forward?
I wouldn't say that they're unsuccessful. Anytime you're searching an area and you don't find something, you also are clearing.
No, they're unsuccessful.
Clearing an area that
Yeah.
So it's still purposeful.
Was sonar used in the lake at all in the search?
Yes.
That's what I wanted. Let's see.
It's mentioned that there's video of, in businesses, captured images of her. What exactly was captured? Was it the vehicle pacified? What did those cameras capture?
So the only known lead that we have currently only saw Captain Brown discuss.
I think we capped you at 3 questions. We're going to move on. Sorry, my last one. Does this mean to think that at this moment you don't believe she ever went home, or she never went down that route? You believe she went somewhere else, or she never made it home?
Nobody wants to answer it.
Again, we don't know. We're trying to find out exactly what happened. And at this point, we believe that someone knows, someone saw her, but they're not coming forward. So again, we urge people to come forward. Again, we'll reiterate that we're not concerned about what was happening out at the party. Our only concern is to get KIELY back.
Now, you guys mentioned that the hoodie, that statement right there was the hoodie that was going to her by any chance. Did that person that looked at the hoodie see her before she went missing? Or were there any other?
There's nothing in our investigation that has pointed to that.
Her best friend said before that she was the last person to speak with her. Has that been confirmed?
We continue to investigate and interview the people who last saw her to try and get more information. But so far, nothing has been able to lead us to KIELY.
Obviously.
The hoodie.
Yeah.
That believes to be what she's wearing. Is that what?
We can't confirm that. We just know that the hoodie was in her
We're basically a bunch of useless pieces of shit.
possession.
Seriously.
She went missing. She was loaned that hoodie, yes.
Sorry, that's not what I think of all of them, but the way she's coming off, that's like what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Her phone has actually been turned off shortly after 12:30 a.m. Saturday morning, and it has been off this whole time.
She says turned off and not died.
We need to know if it was a hard shutdown or a graceful shutdown. Was it turned off or was it short circuited? This is really important.
Yes. Well, hold on, pause.
Yeah.
But she says turned off. So I mean, again,
but I don't know if she knows what she's talking about.
Yes.
But that would indicate a graceful shutdown, not a hard shutdown.
Yeah,
but,
my brain says that they found it and they turned it on and it still had battery.
Huh.
You know what I mean? Where my brain goes into these weird things. Like, it was turned off. Well, how do you know? If you found it, turned it on, and there was battery, maybe?
Well, that's a really good point because, being what I would assume is experienced law enforcement, you should know to not say turned off if you do not mean turned off, given that she ought to know the importance of digital forensic evidence.
Correct.
Crazy. I wish that we could say, yeah, we have faith that she knows all that and she's speaking accordingly, but I just don't have that faith.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you, really.
Sheriff _
hold on.
Tahoe in Vans.
Move our search in the right way. And I believe gains on this extremely difficult situation. And I know, speaking for myself and for a lot of the folks on our team, it's tiring for law enforcement as well, and we have information or members that are coming expanding beyond that point last seen in a systematic way that hopefully is capturing right-of-ways and things that would make sense for somebody who is leaving the area. And we're doing the best that we can in an attempt to locate KIELY. Folks who have tips, again, I'm concerned with Placer County. I could probably say the same for their community. conversation earlier with local radio about what's going on in community, and that there's some what we would
Community.
refer to as bad players on the internet providing
Oh
bad
my
information
God.
or
Yeah, that word is
antagonizing,
used a
certain
lot.
things, and really I would just hope that people don't continue to do that, and that we're looking for how do we have the best progress and make some gains on this extremely difficult. It's hard to look somebody in the face and tell them you don't have those answers. So, and digital data and all those things to help move our search in the right way.
We'll be having a crew come out and bring out an easel containing several pictures that I will then discuss in detail.
Ugh, I can't even.
Yeah.
They're just yuck. So
It's just too much. You guys got to go back and watch all these.
yeah, you definitely, yes. I think that is critical. Okay, so I'm gonna just pop in one more video, and okay. I actually want to say something else, but I'm gonna make a video about this too.
Say it.
I'm gonna say it. Let's see. Let's see. It was said to be a hard shut off. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So now, gosh. In the misinformation that has been spread about the streets of YouTube by Megan, who was on this channel last night, and other people, and I don't mean to just pick on Megan, but she needs to slow her roll. She is doing damage for herself, and I'm really saying this. I don't want anything negative for her at all. Megan, you're doing damage to yourself, and you're just doing damage for this case in general. Please, it's just got to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, one of the things that was said by her and then was repeated in quoting her and other sources too, but I really kept hearing this in regards to what Megan was saying on channels and then how people were quoting her, was in some ways it might seem like a subtle skewing of information, but really it's a freaking big deal.
Yeah.
So let's see, this is it. Yeah, wait a minute, where'd this go? Independent, gosh. I can't read the damn thing anymore. Let me try to reload this.
You know what I'm gonna do next, and I'm doing this right now. That's why I'm quiet too, is because there are a lot of pictures that were taken at that community meeting, and I want to see if this Michelle person or this Megan person is there, and who she's sitting next to, because I did find some photos of the community meeting, and I have a video up that shows some of them. Here we go. I found, and that if she's there in the community meeting and who she's sitting next to, will say a lot.
I think it will. I think that's a good idea. Awesome. Great idea. All right.
Yeah, go for it.
So here is, let's see. Well, let me just read. Okay. A team of divers who claim to have recovered the body and car of missing California teen KIELY Rodney say police told them to not bother looking in the area where they made the discovery. Okay, so here it is. So this is what, Megan was saying. She told time and time again. I was looking at this today after I did my work at my day job, of course. And actually, my job is extremely busy. I do a lot of work. So she was saying, law enforcement, she said this several times on this channel last night. Law enforcement told them, I think she couldn't decide whether she was going to be blaming law enforcement or I don't know what was going on really, but law enforcement told them to not dive where they found the car. And I think each of us, or at least two of us, asked the question to try to clarify what she was saying. So wait, you're saying that law enforcement approached Adventures with Purpose and said, listen, dudes, You don't have to dive here. Don't dive in Prosser Lake. Or reservoir. You don't have to do that. It's taken care of. Not necessary. It's a moot point. Please move on. But Adventures with Purpose dived on it anyway because their motto is, if we don't dive, then it's just not searched or whatever it is.
Exactly.
So, yeah. So she said that time and time and time again. And I think people are starting to accept that as being the truth. But guys, this is what this is a quote that this misinformation is derived from. So again, here it says in black and white, a team of divers who claim to have recovered the body and car of missing California teen KIELY state police told them to not bother looking in the area where they made the discovery. Okay. But what was really said, I'll just keep reading. On Sunday, the diving group, which had been invited by the police to join the search, said it had found an upturned vehicle in about 14 feet of water at Prosser Creek Reservoir, near to where the 16-year-old was last known to be. In a press briefing on Monday about the discovery, the group added that the car was found just 55 feet from the shoreline of the reservoir, and the finding came within 30 minutes of a diver going in to look. So here's the quote. Josh Cantu, a spokesperson for the diving group Adventures with Purpose, told the New York Post about the discovery on Sunday and said, quote, police told us they did a rigorous search of this body of water. They gave us a grid map and made us confident we didn't need to search here. Okay, so he says, police told us they did a rigorous search of this body of water. They gave us a grid map and made us confident we didn't need to search here, which is different than what she was saying, which was Adventures with Purpose says police told them to not bother looking in Prosser Creek Reservoir.
That's different.
It's different.
I need that's so good, Kelly.
Yeah. Thank you.
That is good.
Yeah, and it's a really, really critical point. So now, at least as she was telling the story last night, at least for a while she was here, that was, her big point of contention. Well, guys, this is the linchpin here. The fact that they told them to not even look in Prosser Creek Reservoir. Oh my God, guys, what this means is, this means I need to stop talking right now. I gotta stop talking right now. This is what that means,
Yeah.
Trouble's on the way. That little trouble mouse is nipping at my toes. And, if you are wondering if she is being truthful or deceptive, and you're just hearing that, and it sounds kind of like what you have been hearing reported in the news or, out of the mouths of the guys from Adventures with Purpose, you're just going to kind of maybe mentally gloss over that and start to accept what she is saying now as being the truth that tells the reality, which will eventually tell the history of this whole event. These are the kinds of things that we cannot allow to happen. And that is the kind of gaslighting and deception that people use to gaslight, manipulate, and con others. Please be aware.
Yeah, titles will gaslight you too, y'all. They will put something in the title, and then people will not read the article because the title told me everything I needed to know.
Yeah, for sure.
You're showing this to me for the first time. It changes everything for me.
This?
Yes.
Yeah. How
it
so?
does. Well, because I literally in my mind thought that the police said don't search there.
Yeah.
Because that's what that title says. And that's what we all discussed. But then that little paragraph that you showed me, they gave them a little map and they were confident that they searched there. That only backs up my theory that the car was probably not there when they searched.
Yep. Yeah.
But that's just my theory, y'all. Okay.
And it might be true. And then Gregory Worth says, holy cow, I found myself starting to believe that. Yes, this was one of the key points I wanted to bring up like a really long time ago. But guys, please. I mean, this is just one instance and we'll talk about more. I'm gonna get hacked again. Kevin, stop.
No, you're not.
Why are you being so mean, Kevin?
Don't put that in the universe, dude.
I know. Take it back, Kevin. In fact, I'm gonna delete it.
But I mean, that's good. That changes everything. The wording of that.
Kevin, you're gonna be timed out for like 30 seconds. Sorry, it's the only way.
Damn,
Okay.
she just spanked you, dude.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Ara.
No, but that changes. That wording is so important. I've never seen this article, dude. Can you put that in the chat? So I mean, for
Yeah, of
other
course.
people want
a link
too.
to the article.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. Let's see.
Well, you're like totally sleuthing right now. I love it.
I'm always sleuthing. So this is let's see, what is it? It's independent. It's the independent something in the UK.
You guys need to also check out. I don't know. What do you think about the Guardian, Kelly? What do you think about that?
I think it can be, like most news sources, hit or miss, I guess. I don't really have a overwhelming blanket opinion. What do you think of it?
Well, if you want to know, they have a lot of pictures. They put a lot of pictures out there. So if you guys want to look at, the Guardian is a good place for pictures, and the Sun, because they have people there all over taking pictures of everything. So if you want to sleuth, go to their websites and you'll find stuff.
That's awesome. I want to sleuth. Let's see. Did that just post in chat?
Yes, ma'am, it did.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna just play one video and then I'm done.
I got you. Me too.
Yeah, thanks for staying on.
Always.
And thanks everybody in chat. You guys are awesome. Thank you for being here and for letting us know what you think.
The chat has been super smooth. It's great.
Yeah, seriously. You guys are great. Great. Let's see. Which one?
Don't forget to hit that like, y'all, on your way out or when this ends. And
yes,
I'll put the membership link down again.
Thank you, darling.
For you guys. Yeah, this channel is great. That's why we hang out here so long.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Where's the video I want here? Okay. Use image raw. Let's see. Oh my gosh, I can't believe how long ago this video was that I posted. Okay. Almost there.
Miss Kelly says, Kevin, don't make me call your mom again.
That's so funny. Do it. Get him in trouble.
Mom.
Get him in trouble. Call his mom. Do it.
I second that.
So funny.
Brandy says at Jelly Bean, when someone is proven to be a liar like SF, I can't take anything they say seriously. These people like him, Sami and Megan, can't keep their story straight. I try to stay away from listening to people like SF and all these people that it's because they insert themselves in the cases, but then they're no longer there. They're not consistent. Just like these YouTubers that are podcast people also, they're not consistent. They're just doing something for views, but then they forget about it and then go do something else. I mean, they're not real true crime people. And this SF person, in my opinion, I just don't listen, so I don't have an opinion about them.
Yeah, I agree with that. As agrees. Let's right back over time. Jesus.
Thank you, Esther, for being here. Good night.
Thanks, Esther. Welcome to the channel membership.
Tiffany Taboo posted a short of Megan.
What did she do? What she post?
Posted a short of Megan. Is what
a
she
short
said.
Of Megan?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I'm not sure.
Break it down for me like I'm a golden retriever.
I feel like that's the voice you use to your bunnies.
It's sometimes it's the animal voice, I guess.
Oh, SF Investigates was debunked and shown to be a liar and shut down his channel. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's interesting. You have to consider the consistency of people that go online and give people information. It's how long have they been online? How long do they stay after they say something?
Yeah.
Or do people just create an uproar and then go dark?
Yeah.
So let's see what
That's
happens with
right.
this
That's
Megan
right.
person.
That is totally right. It's a freaking community crap. I can't even.
I think it's interesting how two communities merge, though. Channels like Geek Mill and, you know, the Upchurch guy and all these, a lot of these channels that really didn't have anything to do with each other just kind of merged, which I find interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too.
This case kind of did that.
It did. It definitely did.
The people that listen to these weird podcast channels were the people that were calling in for information. But then these podcast channels don't have a lot of credibility with people.
Right, right. And I'm aware, and I actually watch a couple channels that I had never even heard of before, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Take that opinion as you want, guys. I just put it out there.
Yeah. All right. I'm just going to share this video. If you want to stay up, that's wonderful. If you need to hop down, all right, I also understand. Thank you so much for all you do to support the channel, just for being awesome in general.
Yes, ma'am. I'm always here for you. You know that.
Thank you, darling. All right, I'm going to start playing this. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Oopsie. Okay. Or welcome back to What's the Obsession, covering the KIELY Rodney case to help ensure complete justice is found for KIELY. So what do we know about the KIELY Rodney case? Right now, it is the evening of September 19th here in New York. And what we know so far is this. Law enforcement, 18 agencies, spent 19,000 man-hours with 300 boots on the ground or fins in the water, looking for KIELY over 12 days. Apparently, law enforcement searched Prosser Lake Reservoir, where KIELY's vehicle and remains were eventually found by Adventures with Purpose. When Adventures... I forgot it's Kevin still in timeout, Jody. Oh my God. Jody says, I've been visiting. I'm sorry. I don't know why. I just find it's hilarious. I've been visiting Kevin in timeout prison. He's doing okay. I'm sorry, Kevin. Do I need to let him out? Oh my God. I didn't even know that. Hold it. I'm coming, Kevin. Oh, shoot. I didn't mean to block you. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. I didn't mean to block you for 5 minutes, Kevin. Is that what happens every time you put someone in timeout? You'll be out soon. I'm really sorry about that. I'm going to keep playing this. Oh my gosh. That was Purpose arrived on the scene in 35 minutes after beginning to search Prosser Reservoir. They found the car, and diver Nick eventually located KIELY's 2013 CRV with KIELY's remains inside. It was a heartbreak to so many. So since then, as I'm sure many of you know, Adventures with Purpose has been speaking out about what they believe happened to KIELY. In my opinion, the guys from Adventures with Purpose are nothing but first class. They've been nothing but deferential and respectful to law enforcement, allowing them time to do their thing, to release information as they see fit, and in my opinion, they have not been getting in the way. Hold it. Wait a minute. I don't think that Megan said that Sam and KIELY fought. So if that's true, could you please just give a source so we can cite that? Otherwise, I'm just going to have to say that that's not true. I don't believe that's true. I just want to make sure that we are. Oops. I think with their I want to make sure that we are slowing down, ideally stopping the dissemination of inaccurate information rather than to facilitate it. So I'm going to say at this point, I don't think that's true. If I'm wrong, somebody please throw me the source and I'll say, oh, look at this. I'm wrong. Portraying to the public now is a sense of certainty and maybe even a sense of urgency that they must get their message out and let the public know that they don't believe Kylie's death was an accident. I just happened to turn on YouTube last night after getting home, and what do you know? The interview room with Chris McDonough was on, and Chris McDonough was interviewing Doug and Nick. Jared, in the beginning of this live stream of the interview room, was on. And guys, what Jared specifically said to Chris McDonough in this live stream of the interview room really blew me away. These guys never cease to amaze me. So Chris McDonough asked, how's everyone been doing? Have things been toning down since, the whole Kylie situation happened? And Jared responds by saying,
I think it's one of those things to where it's still in the news. It's going to stay in the news until there's, further word from the investigation. And one of the things about the investigation, we have our stance. We've spoken publicly about what we believe based upon what we've seen, and there's a lot that people are making judgment calls as to us voicing our opinion, and people want to hear our opinion until our opinion doesn't align with others. And we're okay with that based upon all the evidence that we have. Now, if law enforcement comes out and they say, we believe otherwise, we will support their decision. Will we believe it in our hearts based upon what we've seen? We never will. But we have to accept it, and we will continue to move on to the next case, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to find the where and let them figure out the how and if there's a who involved.
So I just felt that one statement was really packed. You could really unload it and unwrap it. As time goes on, as we've observed, all of the members of Adventures with Purpose who are speaking out, who are doing interviews with YouTubers, are becoming more direct and certain with their message. And their message is, guys, they don't believe this was an accident. Chris McDonough always does a great interview, and this was a great interview all around. After Jared left, Nick sat in with Doug, and for the most part, they talked about other cases. They talked about their overarching philosophies and beliefs that guide the work they do. Pretty deep into the interview, a comment comes up at the bottom of the screen, and Chris McDonough advises, you guys can back into this however you like. And the question was, do you think Kylie was going for an air pocket? And Doug takes that question. As always, Doug reaffirms a lot of what he's already told us and also tells us something new. In this case, he uses the percentages 10% and 90%, saying that he's told the public 10% of what they know and 90% of what they know of the knowledge and information they have not, and at this point, cannot disclose to the public.
So you guys drive into this question if you feel comfortable.
Absolutely, this is possible. So we have our opinion. Our opinion, if you've watched our episode, is based on a lot that you see in the episode, as well as 90% of the stuff that we cannot talk about and have never been able to talk about nor comment, and that none of the public even knows. So, but does that mean we're right? Absolutely not. We're allowed to voice our opinion, and we're never going to back down from that, because that's our voice. At the end of the day, if this is foul play, we could never be loud enough. Never. Now, law enforcement is going to come out here soon. Like you just mentioned, there's rumors they may come out tomorrow or something like that. But whenever they come out, we know we have one of three things that are going to happen, right? They're going to announce that it's an accident. That's going to create a whole storm, because nobody's going to believe that. The second thing that's going to happen is they're going to say it's inconclusive, right? Inconclusive at this point, and then it's still ongoing. That's going to create another storm because of how things were handled every step of the way. There's a lot of blaming that's going to go on because of why it's inconclusive. Or three, the third one is that, hey, it is indeed very suspicious death, and it's still an ongoing investigation. And that in itself is going to create another storm. But just because we feel a certain way doesn't mean that how it is. You know, the law enforcement, the FBI, CHP, Nevada County Sheriff's Department, Prosser County Sheriff's Department, they're going to come up with a theory or their assessment. They'll present it to the public. And, you know, unfortunately, I mean, fortunately, you know, that's what we have to wait on. And right now, all we have is what we've released. And, you know, depending on certain positions that they may take, we'll have a lot more info that will come forward and possibly a whole nother episode.
So what did Doug say there? He said, we're never going to back down from our opinion. He said, if it's found to be foul play by law enforcement, we won't be able to be loud enough. And as Jared said, to paraphrase, even if law enforcement comes out and says otherwise, they know in their hearts what they saw and they will not believe it. Now, I don't know if you can imagine a more certain, definitive statement that indicates Jared believes there was foul play, that this was not an accident, other than him saying, listen, this was not an accident, guys. There was foul play, which none of the guys are ready to say just yet, but they've come close. Combine that with statements Nick made, like when he was interviewed by Grizzly True Crime, which was a great interview. Grizzly True Crime interviewed Nick and Check It TV. Awesome interviews. Go check them out. I'll leave them in the description box. When you put the statement of these three guys together, we will never back down. If it's foul play, we won't be able to speak loud enough. We will never change our mind. We know what we know, and 90% of what we know, the public does not yet know. Nick came up out of the water after finding Kylie's car and Kylie's remains, and nearly immediately said, I suspect it's foul play. What did he see? 90% of what he saw, we don't know he saw. We haven't seen. Guys, it is beyond clear that these three men who seem like admirable, honest men, they're waiting for law enforcement to make their next move before they say another word. And they've made it clear that whatever law enforcement says, they're going to go with it one way or another. But they'll always know in their hearts, they will always know what they know, and they will never change that. Can they say this loud enough for us to hear there was foul play in the death of Kiely Rodni? I know. I don't like to think about it either. You've heard them. What do you guys think? As we look back at true crime cases historically, we find that sometimes law enforcement does everything right and a just resolution is found. We also find that at times law enforcement drops the ball. Sometimes there's corruption, sometimes there's scandal, sometimes there's incompetency, sometimes there's egos that get in the way from finding the truth. But for one reason or another, justice is not received when an egregious crime at the hand of another occurs. If that were to be the case with Kiely, would we want today, tomorrow, next year, for all of eternity to pass without Kiely receiving justice? Okay, so it looks like some people are saying that Megan did say that Kiely and Sami fought. She didn't say it, so we'll have to check into it. So, okay, maybe it was said. So, oh, goodness gracious, people. So thank you so much for being here this evening. Again, there's a lot more information to share, to follow up with what we were talking about tonight. I didn't paint that clear picture now, did I? Oh my goodness, tonight wasn't the night for that. Guys, I just want to leave you like with this thought and let me know if you agree or not. This is how I see it at this point, based on the information that we all know, to be true, because we're not fools. The information that's out there that we can, intelligently discern is not true, because again, we're not fools. Well, sometimes we are, but that's okay. We come to our senses, right? Combined with other things that we've been discussing on this channel and others, like analyzing nonverbal communication and cues and indicators, statement analysis, context, history of relationships of the people involved, understanding the community, that special community that's unlike any other community, Truckee community, the community, Truckee. Like all of these things, when we put all these things together, I think it's been over the past 3 days or so as I've been looking at the big picture and all these individual pieces. Some of them I've been looking at for a little too long, but then it's okay. We know for certain that we can exclude them as being possibilities of truth or accuracy, right? I think that understanding, and the next step would be knowing what happened that night, what happened to KIELY. Was it an accident? Was there foul play involved? Do we have to fight for justice? Or if we didn't, would she be deprived of justice forever since she has no voice? And sadly, some of the people closest to her, many of the people closest to her, don't seem ready to take on that fight. I think understanding that, guys, is not nearly as mysterious or trying to choose my words carefully, or unattainable or far-reaching from where we stand right now as many of us have been thinking it is. In my opinion, the answers are right in front of us. And I'm not just saying that as like, a cliche. Guys, the answers are literally right in front of us. And I am going to paint that clear picture for you. It's just not going to be tonight because I need some good sleep. So thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for being on panel. Thank you, moderators. Welcome new members and subscribers. And yeah, if you have any questions, please leave them in chat or as a comment on this replay. You can always, no, you know what? Don't even bother emailing me at this point. I'm so behind on emails. I've been getting lots of emails and I really need to get caught up on them. So yeah. Sean says, her saying that they fought made me think that's why Sami got a different ride and had that call when she already left. Could be completely wrong, though. I think there's something to it. I think that Sami is the person that KIELY got in a fight with. I do believe that fight happened because we heard it from Doug from AWP. And it's not that I blindly worship these guys. It's just that I think that they have proven themselves to be extremely credible. And as far as I know, what they say carefully. They don't say things recklessly. I think they have a great sense of responsibility in what they do and what they put out there to the public. And I think they do a really good job handling that with the responsibility and honor and humility that, is warranted given the work that they're doing. So, Doug says that. He reads it right off his phone. There was a fight between KIELY and bleep. So I believe that happened. And I just believe it was with Sami because I can tell you just from doing some statement analysis and behavioral analysis of Sami Smith. Sami Smith does not and did not like Kylie Rodney. In my opinion, Sami Smith harbored disgust and contempt for Kylie Rodney. Why that is, I have absolutely no freaking idea. But I don't think that they were seen together all night, spinning each other's drinks and being twinsies and going to cars and talking about charging phones and cars and mommies and stuff, is like best buddies. I think there was an ulterior motive. And although Megan wanted me and you to kiss Sami's ass by this time today, that ain't going to be happening. And I am just going to hop right back on the path of doing what's necessary to help uphold justice for Kylie. And I am very suspicious of Sami. Squat. We're not going to be there yet. Complete justice for Kylie. So I've been staying away from doing this video, but I just can't help it. Every time I watch a video of Sami Smith, a video that is recorded looking at her pretty much, head on, I notice this pattern time and time again. Now, the reason I tried to stay away from making this video is these eye movements connected to truthfulness versus deception can be oversimplified and overgeneralized, in which case, of course, they're not really going to mean anything. Some of you might know this about me. I'm a behavioral therapist. Yeah, Sean, that is super weird too. I noticed that you said that. I have to look more into that because that is really weird. Why is that? Freaking weird ass people out there. Stop plotting to do weird things, people. Like, do good things with your life. And if you are spending your time trying to fill an agenda of doing screwed up things to people just because, I don't know, like, why? You're bored? Please stop doing that, people. Seriously, please stop. Using several different methods of analyzing behavior when I'm working with students and other people in a therapeutic setting. So this is something that's known to be true. It's evidence-based. It's tried and true. And here's the key, guys. When you're watching someone speak, when you notice the behavior or the action or the tendency, and it happens time and time again, it's replicated across settings over time, it's becoming a pattern itself, then, according to behavioral analysis, the behavior or the nonverbal cue, movement, whatever it may be, takes on meaning. Now, I just want to clarify what over time and across settings means. Over time doesn't mean to be It doesn't have to be over several years or even several months. Depending on the situation, it can just be over several minutes or another occurrence of analyzing someone. Across settings just means that you've observed this nonverbal indicator in a person in more than one setting, essentially. So the interview footage we have of Sami Smith meets the criteria of over time and across settings. So what we are looking at here is the movement of the eyes. And I'm just going to stick to looking up to the right or up to the left, okay? Because those are the clearest indicators that we're going to see in a person, generally speaking. So when a person looks up into their right, which remember is going to be your left, they are constructing a visual image, which means they're lying. They're making something up on the fly so they can tell you what they think you want to hear, also known as lying. When a person is talking and they look up and to their left, which is going to be your right, they are visualizing something that is a remembered experience through images. So they're telling the truth. They're recalling something that happened. They're telling you. They're being truthful. So now remember, when someone looks up and to their right, which is going to be your left, they're visualizing something. They're trying to make up something to tell you. They're lying. When a person is looking up into their left, which is going to be your right, they're simply remembering something visual that happened in the past, and then they are retelling their story based on those visualizations that they're pulling from their own memory. Okay, so let's apply this behavioral science as we watch some statements from KIELY Rodney's friend, Sami Smith.
I went up to her and I said, hey, I got another ride home, because she was meant to be my ride home, but I knew she was too intoxicated to get me home. So I said, hey, I found another ride home. Like, I hope you stay safe. Like, I'll see you tomorrow. Like, I love you. Like, have fun and stuff. I think it's totally possible that somebody could have taken her and maybe offered to drive her home. They've searched into the forest. They've searched into the water. They've searched in every single place, and there's no tire tracks or anything from what I know. So I can't there.
Shani Jones wants to ask you, on your last call, did she let you know who the quote-unquote friend was that was driving her home?
Yeah, so this is a common misconception. She was not being driven home, and she was not driving. So, okay, at the end of the party when I saw her, she was supposed to give me a ride home because I had asked her to give me a ride home because I wanted to stay later. I then realized later in the party that I believe she was drunk, and I knew she was drunk, and so I did not want her to be driving me home, because I know about drunk drivers and all that, and so
Smart.
and I figured she would be staying there, or she would find a ride home, because she's a smart girl. She's smart enough to know, she's smart, and so then I found her as I was leaving the party. I was making sure to find her to tell her that I had another ride home, and that I loved her and I wanted to say bye and for her to have fun at the party. And then when I left the party, we were pretty much on 89 with my ride, and she called me as I was in the car in the passenger seat, and she was like, hey, where are you? And she called me as I was in the car in the passenger seat, and she was like, hey, where are you? Do you still need a ride home? And I was like, no, I'm okay. Like, I'm in the car right now. I'm getting driven home now. In the car right now. I'm getting driven home now. In the car right now. I'm getting driven home now. But KIELY did not have a set ride home, and I was under the impression that she would either sleep there or find another ride home. And it was not known that anybody was going to give her a ride home. She was not, when she called me, she was not in a car. I could hear the party and many people talking in the background.
Oh, wow. If there's anything you could say to Sami right now, what would you say to her?
It's Kylie, just by the way, but if Kylie's out there watching
I'm
this,
sorry, Kylie. I meant. I apologize.
Don't worry.
I just my mind's going 1,000 miles an hour. It's just this is a very.
So guys, what I found in almost all of the interview footage of Sami Smith, where the camera is looking at her from a front view head on, Sami looks up and to her right or my left, indicating that she's making up images, making up things that she's going to say, indicating that she might possibly probably be lying when she talks about that phone call or that interaction that Kylie had told her, you know, she was going to stay there, Sami getting a ride home. No, I'm going to be getting a different ride home. Didn't want to get a ride home with Kylie. That whole interaction, that whole storyline involving whether or not Sami was going to get a ride home with Kylie, and she didn't. And whatever it is she did that wasn't a ride home with Kylie, but with someone else, we still don't know what that is. That whole piece of Sami's storyline based on this behavioral science, to me, indicates clear deception.
Then I found her as I was leaving the party. I was making sure to find her to tell her that I had another ride home and that I loved her and I wanted to say bye and for her to have fun at the party. And then when I left the party, we were pretty much, I went up to her and I said, hey, I got another ride home, because she was meant to be my ride home, but I knew she was too intoxicated to get me home. So I said, hey, I found another ride home. Like, I hope you stay safe. Like, I'll see you tomorrow. Like, I love you. Like, have fun and stuff.
All right, guys. Oh, let's end this with like words of wisdom from Kevin. Let me sure I get your name right. Exploiting my core competencies, Bashnik. Everyone be safe and be high on life. See you next time. Oh, Maggie, I actually did an experiment with that with two of my students. Are you the person that brought that up in the comments on the video? I will go over that tomorrow. I am just so beat right now to go over it because it's going to require some explaining. That was a good catch though, but I think the way it was presented, I think it's correct. I think it works out, but I want you to check it out and let me know what you think. Thank you for pointing that out.